by the Irish Examiner this weekend. It's a double helping of top-flight hurling today, with exclusive coverage of the Co-op Superstore's Cork Premier PSHC semi-finals. First up in about 20 minutes' time is the meeting of UCC and Blackrock, while later this evening, Erin's Own face Glen Rovers. Tomorrow we break new ground yet again with coverage of the Cork Senior Camogie final between Enniscarra and Corsi Rovers. And then tomorrow night we are on football duty with the Bon Secours Cork Premier SFC quarter-final between Ballincollig and champions Nemo Rangers. But back to the here and now, and I'm delighted as always to have Ger Cunningham and Mark Landers alongside me here in the commentary box for our first game between the Rockies and the students of UCC. All of that to come and their expert analysis in a few moments' time. But first we're going to check in with the two camps. A little earlier in the week I caught up with UCC's Tom Kenny. But first off, let's hear the thoughts of the Blackrock boss. That's Fergal Ryan.
So again, I suppose we've asked them to say, look, you've got another opportunity here to, maybe go out and play one of your best games in hurling, and that's what we've looked for from them. And collectively, then hopefully that we'll make it work together from a team perspective. And if we do that, I think we're in with a chance of coming away with a win from the UCC game as well.
Unfortunately, Ferdy, we've been seeing more and more COVID cases and COVID-related issues in the last couple of weeks, not just in Cork but around the country. Is that something that you as a manager and you as a club are especially worried about or careful about or thinking about at the moment?
Yeah, it's definitely something you're thinking about. I suppose our Dr. Paddy Hayes, I would have spoken to him last week. I suppose maybe he's a little bit closer to those cases because he's got to practice with 6 or 7 other doctors. And he might be seeing those numbers before they actually are seeing it in testing. And actually, there's a succession rate that's coming out positive from all those testing. So he was saying that to highlight it with the players to make sure that they're not putting themselves in situations where there's groups or I wouldn't expect them to be going out anyway, to be honest with you, from the point of view of they're so in depth in championship now, and they're generally a very good, sensible bunch. But just to reinforce, even if it's a work scenario, that they can err on the side of caution. So if there's some work meeting or somewhere they have to be, can they defer it? Can they put it out till after the game? Can they change till after the championship? Do they have to be there? So it's just asking those questions, just to make sure that unfortunately, I think every club at some stage it'll come and someone will be gone for a test, whether it's negative or positive, and that's just the nature of, I suppose, the world we live in. But certainly we've sent a message out to be as careful as they possibly can be, while still living, because that's what we have to do anyway.
Very well said. In terms of knocks and niggles since the Douglas game, what's the fitness report from your end?
No, it's all good. Kev Keefe is coming back. He had a broken hand against Newtown Shandrum. He went off in the first 10 minutes there. So he's coming back. As I say, we got another game into Mike and Niall Cash, who are just coming back off injuries. Alan O'Callaghan came on that game. He's a little bit more done. So yeah, look, we're not we're in a good position from the point of view of injuries and that. There isn't really too much happening in our side from that. Touch wood, and hopefully it won't be happening tonight after training. But tonight is really just a bit of a get together. There's not going to be a big session or anything with the game on Saturday.
Okay, finally, we are in the midst of a global pandemic, and it's been a testing time for businesses and for business people. And you, in the middle of it, have gone off on a new course of employment. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, well, we've started. I was in the hospitality sector anyway, doing some drink partnerships and pricing projects for myself, I suppose, working for myself. But I teamed up with another guy, Brian Toomey, and we went with a web-based model so we could appeal to a wider audience. Unfortunately, I suppose there's a lot of places that aren't opening or that are closing again or going into different lockdown. It's not the most ideal time for the hospitality sector, but you know what, we're setting ourselves up that hopefully when we do come out of this pandemic that we're in a good position and that that we can maybe add value to the hospitality sector once that gets up and running properly.
And anyone watching now today that wants to make contact or get onto the website, where do they go?
Oh, they go to www.throw.ie and go into the services tab, and everything's available there as to what we provide. So
now I'm delighted to have Tom Kenny standing somewhere in the hallway of his house, joining us ahead of this evening's semi-final. Tom, thanks so much for joining us, and I can hear you have plenty of small help in the background there. UCC, let's go back to the start of the season and all the plotting and campaigning. How difficult has it been for a college side with COVID and everything that goes with it?
I suppose at the outset, John Granger wanted us to put a team into the county championship. Given the COVID and the restrictions that were in place, the option was there for divisions and colleges, I suppose, to opt in if they wanted, whether they'd be able to field the team, given the restrictions. So we said, look, definitely we put a UCC in the team in the county championship. It's important that we have a team there. We didn't know at that stage what players we'd have or who we'd have or whether we'd have 15. We sat down with Conor Canavan and Paddy Crowley also, and we said, look, we'll get 15 or 20 as best we can, and we'll go from there. And as the season progressed, we get more players available, great. If we don't, then that's fine. Our main objective is to have a team in county championship UCC, and that was it back in May and June. And obviously things have got a bit better since then, but that was the outset. That was the goal at the outset.
It's always an incredible task and a balancing act for the likes of UCC and for divisional side. Now you find yourself though in a semi-final. How hard has the last couple of weeks been?
I suppose so, from a management point of view, it's been very difficult in the sense that we've had to watch some of our players playing with their clubs and see whether they come through the games, and watch the COVID restrictions in terms of whether there's any lockdowns in counties and whether players will be able to come down safely to Tipperary and Limerick and things like that. Probably things that other management teams don't have. But at the same time, look, we've been very happy with how the season has gone for us. We don't want to be seen to be used in a championship. We always try to have a great Cork presence in our squad. And in this squad that we've had, and the players that have played in the last number of games, we've had 10, 11, 12 players from Cork, and that has been important for us. That there is a big Cork contingent in our championship teams and our panels. So that's been very important for us. But it has been difficult, just watching the different things. We obviously can't train at all, really, because we used to try it over a couple of years ago. But look, we could have a panel of 25 or 30. And on any given day, only 10 or 12 might be available, 2 or 3 of which who might have travelled from Waterford to Tip, and that's probably not fair then. So we took a conscious decision that we won't train as a collective unit, but as a management team, we've met twice a week ourselves just for an hour at a time, and we go through things we have, we don't have, what we need to watch out on,
Okay, well, of course, you defeated the reigning champions in Enniskillen, defeated in the PSHC as well. Putting up big scorelines, but conceding big scorelines as well too, Tom?
Yeah, you could go back to the Duhallow game where we put up a big score, but we still conceded 2 goals and a good number of points in Duhallow. And truth be told, when McKinney got their goal in injury time in that game, I thought the game was gone, but we responded very, very well. I suppose if some of the PSHC players had a bit more experience, 1 or 2 of the younger players in the forwards, they could have probably carved us open for another 2 goals.
No, and our thanks to our 2 managers for their time in the course of the week. Absolutely beautiful day here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, sunshine, but still a bit chilly here, I must say, up in the commentary box here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Mark Landers here alongside me. Ger Cunningham is en route as well to cast his eye over this game. First of all, what a fantastic day to be alive. What a fantastic day for a county championship semi-final.
Yeah, it's brilliant, absolutely. And looking down on the field here, Colm, it's absolutely magnificent. And the conditions are fantastic as well. There's no breeze here. The tricolour is standing limp at this moment. The last number of games we've had a strong breeze blowing down into the Blackrock side, but there's no breeze here today. Splendid sunshine and 2 really, really good hurling teams on view today as well, and really looking forward to a great hour's hurling.
Okay, well, the 2 teams out on the field at the moment going through their pre-match routines. A pretty complex routine yet again, Mark. It's almost like a mini match. I noticed this the last day before the Douglas game. Blackrock seemed to have these intricate drills beforehand, don't they?
Mini games, and all the lads are decked out in different coded bibs and stuff for that. So they're having mini matches. I suppose basically, what we've seen in the last number of games is that the players come in. One set of players are in the north stand, the other set of players are in the south stand. Then both teams go out to the AstroTurf behind to do their stretches and do their warm-ups and stuff like that. And then the teams come in about maybe 12-13 minutes before the game. In Blackrock situation, they're having a mini game here. They have 3 people at the back, they have 2 in the middle, and they have a man striking the ball in from the 65. And ultimately, the guys at the back are batting the ball or trying to win the ball, and maybe an offload or a shot, whatever suits. So it's probably forwards against defenders and stuff for that.
21st century backs and forwards.
Yes, absolutely. But I suppose there was times in the passage you would be afraid of somebody getting an injury. I suppose I remember years ago, I think Shawnee Leary broke his nose before an All-Ireland final, and Ring, I think, came in and took a handkerchief out of his pocket, and I think, somebody asked the question, will I be able to play? Which he said, you don't hurl with your nose. And I think Ring probably capped it and basically said, listen, come here, get on with it, and which he did. So, look, the players go through a lot of physical training in advance and a lot of matches and training, and it's just an unlucky situation if you get an injury in advance in a warm-up. But I mean, look, at this stage now, when you're 7 or 8 or 10 minutes out from a county semi-final, fellas aren't thinking about injury. They're really thinking, the first ball that comes into me, I'm going to want to win my first ball. I want to get off to a good start, and if that's a forward, maybe it's take on the man and knock it over the bar. If it's a defender, he wants to be out first to the ball, try to gather the first ball himself. If it's a situation that his man is after winning it, it's a case of keep him outside him, force him to take a shot over the shoulder, and a wide. If you're a defender and your direct opponent hits a wide, that's a good one for the defender.
Okay, a little different routine now going in, watching the Black. As I said, it's just fascinating for anyone that has an interest in hurling or games management, just to see these drills taking place. Now, speaking of Blackrock, let's bring up their team on screen there. No changes from that which defeated Douglas last time out. Let's run through it. In goals, Gavin Connolly. The full back line is Richie Lade, Gary Norberg, Jamie Ryan. Half back line, Cathal Cormac, Niall Cashman, Stephen Murphy. Midfield, it's David O'Farrell and Daniel Meany. They've swapped jerseys from the last time out. It was 8 and 9, 9 and 8, the other way around. Half forward line, it's Mark O'Keefe, Kieran Cormac, Shane O'Keefe, and then the full forward line is Michael O'Halloran, Alan Connolly, and John O'Sullivan. Michael O'Halloran, of course, was the late addition 2 weeks ago, and very much the star man 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he got 7 points from play the last day and was the real main person, I suppose, in the Blackrock forward line. But it's a very solid looking 15, no changes to the starting 15, and as we aforementioned the last time, they have a very, very strong bench in Blackrock. The likes of John Cash and Ty Deasy, Alan O'Callaghan and Robbie Cotter to come in. But just to run through the team, I suppose, the Richie Lade, Gary Norberg and Jamie Ryan have been really, really good in the full back line this year. Jamie's the son of the manager Fergal. You've Cathal Cormac, a wing back, and he did a man marking job with Shane Kingston in the semi-final game. I would expect that he'll probably pick up Shane Conway, I would expect today, who will be the main scoring threat from a UCC perspective. Then you've Niall Cashman, centre back, his son of Jim, back after a cruciate ligament operation, and great to see him back, and he was very, very strong and had an excellent game in the semi-final against Douglas. Daniel Meany and David O'Farrell. I'd say Blackrock would be expecting a little bit more maybe from David O'Farrell and Daniel today in midfield, and they will have a big battle in the hands of James Keating and Paddy Cadell. And then up front, I suppose you've Kieran Cormac, centre forward, as a brother of Cathal, who plays wing back. He had a very good opening 20 minutes the last day. I think you'll probably see Blackrock will use the bench here in this situation. They'll get a max out of Kieran for maybe 40 minutes, and a bit like the rugby teams at the moment, they have a specific man to come in there.
And one of the men that you mentioned there, I was hugely impressed with him 2 weeks ago, Ty Deasy. Yeah,
excellent player now, excellent player, and a real match winner. But it's funny that when you kind of lose your place in a team and your team keeps winning, it seems to be very, very hard to get into the team. So and there's just such a quick turnaround in matches this year. You don't get an opportunity maybe to stake a place.
But are there some players, Mark, that a manager will look and say, I'm better bringing him on 20 minutes in or 20 minutes to go, rather than starting him from the outset?
Yeah, I think there is, absolutely. I mean, and any team, whether it is an inter-county or whether it is a club team, there are some players that you say, look, we want him at the start of the game because there may be, some physical exchanges at the start of the game that you're better off to play. And in the past, maybe some young players would have been kept in the background maybe for 20 minutes a game when once the game or the steam had gone out of the match and stuff like that you would bring on a young fella. And then you have this situation where you have injured players. Are you better off starting him? Are you better off bringing him in? I have always taken the view that you're better off starting, because if he's injured going into the game and he gets injured while he starts, you're not using up a sub, because he could come on late in the game and have to be taken off again. So, yeah, to answer your question, yes, Colm, there is, but I think it's just that he's lost his place along with John Cashman at the moment, and they haven't been able to regain their place yet.
Okay, let's bring up the UCC. UCC in goals, Dylan Desmond of Éire Óg. The full back line, it's Owen Clifford, David Lowney and Killian O'Dwyer. Half back line is Mark Coleman, Paddy O'Loughlin and David Griffin. Midfield is James Keating and Paddy Cadell. The half forward line is Andrew Casey, Shane Conway and Mark Keogh. And the full forward line, Shane Barrett, Padraig Power and Neil Montgomery. These lads aren't afraid to score.
No.
Would be the first thing I'd say.
No, and I was just looking at the score. They have 3 matches played already, Colm, this year, and their average scoring is 222. Blackrock's actually is 220. So on the scoring side of things, it's going to be very close. Now they have only 3 matches played. Blackrock have 4 played. I suppose this is their strongest team that they've had all year. And I suppose one interesting statistic is that Dylan Desmond Éire Óg, David Lowney Clonakilty and James Keating Kildallery, they're all playing club championship tomorrow, which I don't think I've ever seen a situation where lads would have played with maybe a division or a college the day before a club championship match. So there's 3 clubs there are slightly concerned, I suppose. They'll be certainly worried, I suppose, whether their man is going to come through or not today. But a big thing just to run through their team, I suppose. Look, the main line they have is their half-back line, Mark Coleman, Paddy O'Loughlin and David Griffin from Carrigaline, and then in front of them James Keating and Paddy Cadell. That middle third there, that 5 players there is their launching pod. Up front they definitely have their strongest 6 forwards here tonight, and this is one disappointing thing that I find now today, is that Neil Montgomery doesn't start even though he's named, but Conor Boylan from the PSHC in Limerick is starting at number 15. He won a county senior medal last year. He ends up turning up here now in Cork this evening to play in the county semi-final in a senior hurling championship match, which I think is totally wrong. But look, that maybe is for another day. That might be for the county board and Cork GA in general to sort out. But what a massive plus for UCC today to have Conor Boylan starting. But I think it's very disappointed that you're in the county semi-final. Lads have played all year long. I'm looking at the likes of Brian Verling here from Clodove, Brian Kelleher from Carrigaline, and Owen McCarthy from Inniscarra. Lads that we see this year playing really well for UCC. They don't get the nod here in front of Conor Boylan today, which I think is disappointing.
Okay, well, Ger Cunningham, perfectly timed and all of that. Do you want to jump on that grenade?
I just got the end of it there from Mark. It's a bit of a bugbear of his, I think, of all these fellas playing in county semi-finals. I don't have an issue with it really at all. I think Conor Boylan was part of UCC all year, played in the Fitzgibbon Cup. Obviously he had his own club commitments to play, so if he's available, he's available, and that's the rule with UCC. He's able to play. I don't think the guys who left off, they're all part of the squad, and they'll hopefully have a part to play as well.
Just Mark was mentioning a bit earlier the fact 3 of the lads playing championship again now tomorrow. It's a tough time for so many players, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's but going at the same time. This is a county semi-final here on a Saturday afternoon. What better place would you want to be? So it is tough, but I suppose the fact that the season's condensed into a short space of time, that's going to happen. And I suppose, but at the same time, these lads know when they commit to UCC, that can happen.
Yeah, but I'm a bit surprised that the 3 clubs involved hadn't done their business in some respects, that they didn't play maybe Friday night, or to get I think we all know from a club perspective that your first allegiance is to your club. But what you're finding this weekend now is that the college has got their first. I'm actually delighted that the college are involved in the championship. The issue I have is that Conor Boylan, he's actually playing in 2 senior championships in 2 different counties. That's the issue I have. So just to be clear on that, I've no issue with the fact that they're involved with UCC and Fitzgibbon and all that kind of stuff. I just would be a bit surprised that the county board or the clubs involved didn't have their championship matches, from a club perspective, played, or maybe that the semi-final isn't played on Sunday and maybe play your club championship match on the Saturday or the Friday, which would give the lads an opportunity to have a break.
Okay, well, I'd say, to be fair to the board at this moment in time, it's been an incredible logistical challenge and indeed a logistical success for them to get these games played, full stop, and credit to all involved there. Ger, we were just chatting there a little earlier. Huge scoring by UCC, but have been conceding big enough scores in the latter 2 games?
Yeah, I suppose so, Colin. If you look at it, they scored last week against PSHC. They were very comprehensive victors. I think they scored 212 from play. I think the Rockies got 117 from play the last day against, or 116 and 117 the last day against Douglas. And I think that scoring from play, which I think is a great sign of a team, if they're scoring 18 times from play, it's really, really good. So I think the Rockies have been, I've been really impressed with their form all year. They've really been, they're unbeaten in all their matches, as UCC as well. But again, on paper, like just a club team, they've trained together. They've worked hard. They've been around for the last couple of years. UCC haven't got together since the last match. They only got together today. So that's very difficult for them. So from that point of view, you'll have to say it's probably advantage of the Rockies from that point of view of being together.
Okay, perfectly time now for the national anthem. From those in the lucky enough to be in the stand here for this clash in Port. Co-op Superstores Cork Premier Senior Hurling Championship semi-final between UCC and Blackrock. So final words to Mark and to Ger.
Yeah, for me, Colin, I probably fancy Blackrock since the start of the season. I'm not going to desert them. I thought they had a fantastic semi-final win over Douglas, which was probably the game of the season so far. I'll be sticking with Blackrock.
Yeah, slight fancy for Blackrock as well, Colin. I think the club side of it always has an advantage. The Blackrock have a very strong panel, but they can leave Tyke DC and John Cashman off a starting 15 of a club team. So a slight fancy for Blackrock. I think they have a strong bench, but a great day for hurling and a great game to look forward to.
Yeah, that's what we said. Great day for hurling. Great hour or so to look forward to in this Co-op Superstores Cork Premier Senior Hurling Championship semi-final. Our match referee, by the way, this afternoon is Joe Larkin. And let's hope that he continues the great tradition of refereeing so far in this championship. Cathal Cormac is making a burst there on the far side. Forced to go back and picking out Kieran, his brother, into the corner. But a foul throw there to John O'Sullivan, and free out.
Yeah, I think he probably gave a free for maybe dropping the hurley, which was a bit unlucky. It's one of those, I suppose, those things that the referee picks up, and it could run for you, run against you. Just a bit unlucky, but a great bus forward from Cathal Cormac, and great chasing by Shane Conway as centre forward for UCC to force him to turn back and not allow him to take a shot.
Paddy O'Loughlin is the UCC centre back, the man from Kilmallock. Fine belt by him down into the full forward line. Pádraig Power was chasing onto it, has done very well to regain control. That's still Power, the man from Blarney, shakes off the tackle, but the connection not the greatest, and Gavin Connolly, also easy for him to send it back down the field with interest. up under it there, and it breaks off the UCC man, and it's hoovered up there by the wing forward for Blackrock, and the shot coming off there by Alan Conley in the end, the full forward.
Yeah, and a very good score from Connolly, and we saw him the last day against Douglas. He got the goal that probably swung the game in Blackrock's favour, but he shrugged off a couple of tackles from UCC and a fantastic score.
Goalkeeper opting to go short there, out as far as his wing forward to Andrew Casey. That's the aforementioned, that's Keith O'Leary, I think, wearing number 20 there, but he's been dispossessed. And it's David O'Farrell, working hard, forced to turn around and go backwards. Blackrock with intent in the opening few moments, dropping it in and around the danger area, but the UCC back in numbers and working it out here with their wing back, Mark Coleman. He goes short, and it's back with Paddy O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin, a big powerful operator. He's dispossessed though by Kieran Cormack. Nice interplay there towards Alan Conley. Conley on the 21, he's a man inside him, but still Conley being held up. Thought that there was a player inside him, but Killian O'Dwyer back there to hoover it up and back out to O'Loughlin. He's quarterbacking so much for UCC in the opening few minutes here. Still no score. That's Conor Boylan. And from Napirsig, and Conor Boylan with an effort from 65 yards. Fine drive by him and a fine point by him.
Great score from Conor Boylan, just talking about him earlier on, but for me the interesting setup here, lads, is you could look at UCC have gone with a sweeper behind Paddy O'Loughlin, is playing in the middle of the D. So UCC are playing conventional or unconventional 2 up front with playing with 7 defenders.
Already 3 minutes gone, but there's some pace to this semi-final already, isn't there? That's Cormac getting the ball in. It's overrun past the full forward, but winning the race out to the Shane O'Keefe. Falls back though, and it's David Griffin over there, opting to interplay there, and off come UCC down that far side, being cheered on by well, it seems quite a lot of fans there. It's a wonderful play there by UCC on the edge of the exclusion zone, being held up the corner forward, opting to go back to Shane Conway. And from Lexna. Conway, good play to Andrew Casey. He's looking in there to bring Shane Barrett into it. There was a chop down, that's going to be a free in, but some play by Barrett there.
Yeah, and he's a player that has really blossomed as the season has gone on, Colm. Both his involvement with UCC and Blarney, and the same with Padraig Power as well at full forward. He's actually blossomed the more games he's been given as well. He scored 3-2 against Carrigaline in the semi-final of the Premier Intermediate last weekend, and you know, I suppose the other thing to mention there is that James Keating is not starting today, and that Keith O'Leary from Castlelyons, who also is playing in the Premier Intermediate final next weekend as well, is starting for UCC.
Shane Conway with the free, and Shane Conway with the point, and pushing it out to 2 points to 1.
Probably see a lot of that column today, a lot of possession, like with only 5 forwards. The UCC will be trying to create space inside for the likes of Conway, the likes of Keogh, Barrett and Power, who are all very, very good hurlers.
I think, Ger, correct me if I'm wrong, did we see young Mark Keogh the day we did a Co-op Superstores Munster Senior Hurling League game up in Nina? Anyway, let's get back with the action, and it's Blackrock on the attack with their midfielder there, Daniel Meany. And he's after slotting it over. We did.
He saw him up there again. He's been, he played he came on the All-Ireland final last year when Tipperary had their victory, and he's been a very strong part of their squad. And it's he's a very, very important player for UCC. He came on the last day against the PSHC and had a big impact on the game. So it'd be interesting to see how he copes today.
Well, it's a different Napirsig that we're watching here, with Conor Boylan scored that opening point. He's off on a merry run here, but eventually runs out of road, and it looked to be the cornerback, I think Jamie Ryan, that was standing in front of him and breaking it down and bringing David O'Farrell into play. First time by Farrell in as far as Alan Connolly. Great pace by Connolly to come out. Rides out the tackle, forced to go out wide towards Michael O'Halloran, who was dropping in on top of O'Halloran. That's a great hand gone up there by Shane O'Keefe. O'Keefe does well, but great block by the defender. He's going to try for a second try. Half caught, and it's trailed. Just trickled over the crossbar. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
But an important game for an important score for Blackrock, because they've had a couple of opportunities where the ball has landed in the square and they haven't got anything out of them until just that opportunity there.
Mark Keogh, the man that Ger was mentioning a few moments ago from 65, dropping a bit short, and stick got up, but the goalkeeper tracked it all the way. Credit to young Conley. Foot race out for it. Corner back showing a clean pair of heels there. Owen Clifford from Clodove opts to go back, bring his full back into it, and it's now Paddy Cadell from JK Brackens in Tipperary. Great ball by him right into the centre forward to Shane Conway, who was in a kind of a corner role, but Conway's accuracy off on this occasion, driving it wide. 7 minutes elapsed in this Co-op Superstores Premier Cork Senior Hurling Championship semi-final, and it is UCC 2, Blackrock 3.
Yeah, and certainly one advantage that Blackrock have is a height advantage over the UCC players. We saw a ball going in long there into Alan Connolly, but I think we can see Alan Connolly getting a lot of ball on the ground, but I think there'll be a lot of ball struck in the air to the two O'Keefe and Michael O'Halloran and Kieran Cormac potentially.
Well, Killian O'Dwyer might have been given a few inches there to Michael O'Halloran, but did ever so well to break down the attack, and it's Cadell who's driving it in first time into his full forward to Pádraig Power, and Power from about 21 yards has made a clean connection, and a fine score by the man from Blarney.
A lot of space inside our column. You can see it inside there. Like when you get the ball in one possession in the middle of the field, there's huge space on either side of the D there, and if UCC can get quality ball into the full forward line, Conway and Power will punish them. So there's plenty of space there for lads, and at the other end you got UCC are actually crowding them out. They have 7 defenders, and there's Mark O'Keefe for the chance.
Yeah, effort from Mark O'Keefe, trailing wide.
And I'm just wondering, would UCC be better off putting Jamie Ryan maybe back in front of the D and to try and cut off the ball going into the full forward line, into the two-man inside line? Because he seems to be playing as a fourth half-back at the moment.
That's Shane Conway racing onto it there. Look at the space that Conway has inside him, but he opts to go back as far as Pádraig Power. Power being harried and harassed there by Gary Norberg, and forced to go even farther back again, and that's another wide, but great defending by the full back there, it must be said.
Just taking Mark's point there, it's obviously UCC would be happy, I think, to see Jamie Ryan being the spare man. I think Blackrock would probably been hoping to get Niall Cashin maybe as the loose man, like to kind of sweep in front of that D there with a bit more experience in it.
That was Jamie Ryan with the delivery. Hope they go for it. It's a UCC man who's going to get to it, and that's Mark Coleman opting to bring Paddy Cadell into it. Cadell back to the fullback David Lowney from Clonakilty. He's a hectic 24 hours, of course. Carbery Junior A final against St Mary's tomorrow afternoon. Back here comes Blackrock on the far side, and an effort, and what a strike and what a point by the corner forward John O'Sullivan down there.
Yeah, and potentially this may change Blackrock's thinking now on their bench, because they may introduce a couple of the subs a bit earlier now if UCC will persist with the 7 defenders, because certainly there's an awful lot of space up front in front of Paddy Power, and they've also moved Conway into full forward as well.
Race going back there, Cathal Cormac first on it. Working a bit of a dink of a pass, but foot race, and it's a UCC leg that gets to it, and eventually to Conor Boylan. Boylan goes to ground, but he's got support coming from David Griffin, and David Griffin, the man from Carrigaline, and that's a fine score from your wing back, and good play by Cadell to pick out the runner behind him.
This is a system as well, guys, that the UCC are very comfortable with the system. Like they've played this for 2 years in Fitzgibbon Cup, and they're unbeaten in 2 years. So the system or this style of play for them they'll be very comfortable with it,
Shot there from distance by Alan Connolly. It's hanging in the air and hanging to the left and gone wide. The Blackrock radar, which seemed to be so in 2 weeks ago against Douglas, slightly off this afternoon in these opening exchanges. And that puck out from the goalkeeper, Dylan Desmond, going out and out for a sideline. And a few bit of afters there, and Cathal Cormac will be the man that will take the sideline, it looks to be. Yeah,
and it's certainly a way different to the game that we saw between Douglas and Blackrock. I mean, it's really way more tactical now. And, Blackrock have a decision that Paddy O'Loughlin has been left all on his own. Paddy Cadell has moved from midfield back into centre-back position, and the biggest question I suppose Blackrock should be posing now at the moment is, should we be actually marking Paddy O'Loughlin and not leaving him loose?
Stephen Murphy actually ended up taking the sideline, but it's returned with interest there, and it's Shane Conway in possession. Conway, a clean pair of heels here, holding off Richie Lade. Great play by the corner back. Conway has managed to try and get possession back, but Lade sticks to his task and wins it, and out to Niall Cashman, and a huge roar of support from the Blackrock supporters here down at the edge of the exclusion zone, and they're down there, including Mark Coleman, trying to ferret it out and through his legs. In the end, it's Paddy O'Loughlin forced to go back to his goalkeeper, to Desmond getting the relieving clearance down here in front of us in the stand here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, and a great big hand there by Conor Boylan. Off goes Boylan, he's got his corner forward, Shane Barrett inside him if he wants, still Boylan on the 21, and Boylan popping it over, but he had the danger there with Barrett on his shoulder screaming for it. And would he have been better to offload?
Yeah, he probably was under pressure. He'd ran 40-50 metres, but there certainly looks to be a bit of a mismatch here. Now they're moving, Blackrock are moving, because Stephen Murphy was playing right half back on Conor Boylan, and there was a big height advantage. Now they've made a switch, and they've put Stephen Murphy in as the sweeper, and they've made a switch here, because UCC have, I say, very comfortable on the ball, looking for space inside. Brilliant bit of defending a while ago by Richie Lade to dispossess Shane Conway, and a big roar from the Blackrock end.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, would it be fair to say, UCC know they don't want to get into a physical tussle here, because Blackrock are probably that bit stronger than.
Yeah, as Mark said, from the point of view, you look at the height advantage. UCC's Blackrock have some really big players. Certainly, they're big guys, but are they as mobile as maybe as some of the UCC players? So, they started with Kieran Cormac, which is probably a big call, leaving Tyke DC off the team, as as you would imagine. Páirc Uí Chaoimh, wide open spaces would suit Tyke DC down to the ground. So I think Blackrock mightn't wait too long to make those changes.
No, I think that is something that will probably be playing in their mind, and particularly the fact that he's playing against 7 defenders at the moment, and UCC lads, you're going to get every one of the UCC lads is really, really fit and they're powerful. But like some of the ball is probably going into the Blackrock forward line at the moment. It's being played on the ground, but it's being intercepted by Paddy O'Loughlin, who has on an ocean of ball as well. Who you have to keep the ball away from the sweeper. And I suppose it's noticeable that Michael O'Hanlon isn't really in the game. A guy who was brilliant the last hasn't been on the ball at all today yet.
Mark O'Keefe and Mark Coleman had a little coming together there on the sideline, and they're after picking up yellow cards for their efforts. Just right down here in front of us, and Paddy Cadell with the resultant free. Fine drive by him, dropping it and all the way through to Gavin Connolly. Watched it, tracked it all the way, and finds Richie Lade with a nice little pass out. Nice little pace there by the corner back. Delivery was aimed towards his centre forward Kieran Cormac, but UCC managing to get back, and a heavy hit there on the centre back Paddy O'Loughlin. Somehow managed to get it away, but he took a bit of a dunt there from Kieran Cormac. Out they come again with another Cormac. That was Cathal Cormac with the catch, and that's Daniel Meany on the ball, forced to go back towards his wing. And another great interception there by David Griffin. UCC players seem to be in the right place at the right time. Paddy Cadell, he's only one target man inside, and on that occasion you had to fancy Blackrock with 2 defenders there. Richie Lade getting the ball away in front of us here, and a great piece of skill there by Mark O'Keefe to keep the ball in play, being tracked back there by Shane Conway. Great little interplay there to pick out his companion, wearing number 8, the other midfielder David O'Farrell. But as Ger said there, a great score, just have the composure to see the pass.
Yeah, he took Mark O'Keefe, won a good ball in the air, and took it on, and in fairness to Doc O'Farrell, came through on great support off the shoulder, and on the run from 45 metres put a lovely ball over the bar.
Okay, the water break that time has whizzed by, lads, hasn't it?
It has whizzed by, and 5 pints. Joe Larkin is doing very well as the referee. There's nothing controversial in it so far. He's leaving the game develop where at all possible, but the biggest thing at the moment is the 7-man defence that UCC are playing, and Paddy O'Loughlin in particular has cut out a lot of ball. David Griffin cut out another ball there, and I'm just wondering, would would Blackrock be better to go a bit more aerial with, because Michael O'Halloran, I think, and Shane O'Keefe inside potentially have a bit of threat, but they're just not getting on enough ball to actually get enough ball into the inside line, I think.
Yeah, Michael O'Halloran has been, from his point of view, the last day where he's, their natural leader and their captain of the team, and the inspirational the last day and was on fire. I think Michael has got one ball so far, so it's difficult inside our scran for us up here looking down. We can see the spaces in there, but you're on the pitch there and you're looking down and all you see is black and red in front of you. It's not easy, so I think Blackrock need to find a way of getting O'Halloran into the game, whatever that is, maybe move him around. It's an awful lot of teams, like when they're playing against the sweeper, don't mark the sweeper, they let the sweeper free, and Paddy O'Loughlin is very experienced in playing that role with UCC. He's flanked by David Griffin and Mark Coleman. He's got Lowney behind him, and also Killian O'Dwyer. They've all played together for 2 years in Fitzgibbon Cup, so they know the system really, really well. So it's a good challenge for Blackrock, because it's something they haven't had up to now, and I think UCC are asking serious questions of them.
Well, water break over nice and quick. Now we're off into the second quarter of this game, being live streamed by the Irish Examiner right across Cork, around Ireland, around the world, with thanks to the Co-op Superstores, the sponsors of the championship here in Cork. Chasing after that there is Shane Barrett, looked to be fouled, but no, referee waving play on. And again, credit to Joe Larkin as well too for his play there, and to the referees in general over the last couple of weeks for letting matches just run on.
And to be fair, it was an accidental clash of legs, to be honest, which would be very, very harsh to give a free in that situation. Shane Barrett got up and got the point opportunity. Unfortunately, we just went wide. Okay,
that was Kieran Cormac taking the heavy shoulder, managing to get the pass off into the corner forward, and that's John O'Sullivan. And John O'Sullivan back-to-back wides there now in the space of 60 seconds. There isn't the same fluency that we saw 2 weeks ago.
I mean, and the last day, those points were straight over the bar. There was no messing with them.
Well, the centre-back Paddy O'Loughlin did ever so well from the quick puck out there from Dylan Desmond. He won't be thanking him for putting him under pressure, but held his nerve and did ever so well. So Blackrock there with Jamie Ryan on the far side, gone to ground, and it's going to be a sideline towards UCC. Ball spilling out there. Nice to see the few fans here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh this afternoon. And we'd like to welcome everyone watching us around the county today, especially those in Rico's at the Rockies. Have to mention the wings and the pizzas, I'm told, down there, which are going down a treat. Going down a treat with Blackrock fans is that miss as well too, and that was Shane Conway. And it's still 5 points apiece. Glorious sunshine here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Bit cool though up here in the commentary box in the shade, but down pitch side it's a balmy 12-13 degrees, and the pitch, would you believe, was being cut as we came in here this evening. So absolutely perfect conditions. And of course we have another semi-final this evening, and we'll have that game live and exclusive here on the Examiner's live stream service. That'll be the clash at 7:30 between Erin's Own and Glen Rovers. Bit of a kind of a stop-start since we came back.
I mean, there's no fluency whatsoever in comparison to the. And I suppose maybe we were treated to a fantastic number of games. Douglas Middleton, Douglas Blackrock, huge fluency, but there's no fluency. And that part of that is down to the system that George has mentioned already, the 7-man defender. But it's working really well for UCC, and they're well. And I says they are certainly. I'd say if there was a percentage possession at the moment, it'll probably be maybe 55-60% to UCC, 40% maybe to Blackrock at the moment.
Another wide there from Shane Conway, uncharacteristic from him. That's Niall Cashman that's coming out with the ball and looking in, and as we just said, like that sweeper sitting back there time and time again, Paddy O'Loughlin. But I think, as Ger said, there is an art to playing a sweeper, and Paddy O'Loughlin is the prototype, isn't he?
There is, but to be fair, Blackrock are hitting the ball straight into him. Like, I mean, they're not avoiding the sweeper. They need to be avoiding the sweeper, and they need to spread out their two inside line men. You know, Shane O'Keefe and Michael O'Halloran need to split to a certain degree.
That was Cormac trying to take a snapshot, and Blackrock have somehow managed to get the ball into the net. Goalkeeper claiming that there was too many steps there, but
Shane O'Keefe.
It's Shane O'Keefe that's after finding the net somehow out of nothing. Looked to be held up.
Well, again, a high ball into the square. I think he won the ball. He was tackled by 2 or 3 defenders, and I think he went to play it first time. He didn't, and did he boot it to the net or did he flick it to the net?
He did a brick Walsh, I think, with a one-handed flick into the hurley into the net. You know, the UCC defenders were looking maybe for a free out. The referee gave it. That's a big boost for Blackrock now.
Massive boost to Blackrock, and as Mark was pointing out about avoiding the sweeper, that was route 1 into the edge of the square, and eventually getting some reward for it. And Blackrock, their tails up there, and Niall Cashman, who set that play in motion with the big clearance yet again to the fore there, out with the corner forward on that side. That's John O'Sullivan, and he's a nice turn of pace by him, and from 21 yards he's after putting it. So from a situation where they couldn't find the post a few moments ago, that's 2 back-to-back for the Rockies.
Well, a goal and a point now, and the Rockies have gone 4 points clear. I think slightly against the run of play, but 2 things need to happen just to I suppose, to solidify their situation. To either mark Paddy O'Loughlin and commit one of their forwards to mark him, or else just avoid the clearances that are going to him, because on a number of occasions Blackrock have struck loose clearances straight into his hand.
Now let's see what the UCC response is going to be like on this far side. Shane Conway trying to get onto it there, going to ground. Look to have a player outside him if he opted. He's going to go right across the field instead. And that's a fantastic ball. Will it produce something from the wing forward from Mark Keogh, the man from Kilcash in Tipperary? And we saw him, as Ger said, in Nina nearly 12 months ago, and part of the Tipperary All-Ireland winning squad. And he knew exactly what to do there. It's another number 12 though that's on the ball there, and that's the goal scorer Shane O'Keefe. And O'Keefe though from 55 yards failing to find the target.
Yeah, a couple of uncharacteristic wides. Mark O'Keefe missed one earlier on, Michael O'Halloran missed one, and Shane missed one there. 3 points I think that probably they would have been expected to score, but there's a lot of stake here to Cullen, because it's getting to a county final. I mean, they've done all the hard work. We said to get through your group stages. Had a magnificent win over Douglas in the quarter final, but we all kind of know this is the game that nobody wants to lose in the semi. You want to get to the biggest day of the year, which is the county final, and there's a nervousness about Blackrock today that we probably haven't seen so far, and maybe some of that is that unsure about who they're going to be playing against. What will UCC be bringing? What new and maybe I suppose when you're playing against a club team, you know exactly who you're going to be playing against, and you can prepare, in terms of your matchups and stuff like that.
Shane Conway with the free there from just inside the 65, and Shane Conway with the point, and it's brought it back to a 2-point game, 1 goal and 6 points to 7 points. Just
say Mark's point there, even though there is a strong UCC connection in Blackrock as well, with 3 or 4 of the lads, the 2 Cashmans, John Sullivan, Shane O'Keefe was in UCC, Michael O'Halloran in UCC, so those lads would know the players really well. So it's they'd know the players and they know the system they were playing. UCC really have a lot of the same players that played the last day against PSHC with the addition of Conor Boylan. So, but it's the system that's causing them a bit of problem, I think. That they're not used to playing against the extra defender.
Great play by Mark Coleman, and great play by Shane Barrett as well to control the pass, right hugging the sideline. But unfortunately, the effort now, it was, as I said, right up against the sideline. But 2 wonderful pieces of skill there by the wing back and the corner forward, the 2 Blarney men combining. But unfortunately, from a UCC perspective, the final effort going wide. Booming clearance by Conley to pick out the full forward, Alan Conley. Shane Barrett being swallowed up, and it's still somehow managed to be kept in play there by John O'Sullivan. Trickles out over the line. And it's Paddy Cadell who's standing over it. But, he's going to leave it back there to Mark Coleman.
As we look down in the pitch, Colin, there's 3 UCC forwards inside the 65-yard line, be marked by 4. The amount of space that's above on the UCC side
there's
is
four
phenomenal.
Inside from halfway on.
Yeah,
there's 4. It's incredible.
Which means then that the Blackrock end in the forward line is very, very condensed.
That was Coleman picking out Keith O'Leary. Somehow Alan Conley has managed to gain possession, but he's just surrounded by UCC players. It's a flotilla of red and black, And UCC's Paddy Cadell getting on so much ball, and first time effort by him towards Conor Boylan on that far wing, who's drifted out of play in the last few minutes. But Conor Boylan from distance, the man from the Pierce again, Limerick, just showed his class there.
Well, he's a big influence of the game because UCC have 8 points scored and he's got 3 of them from play. He's some plus to have to bring in a county semi-final after winning a county medal with the PSHC last weekend.
UCC though really as well though, Colm need to get Shane Conway into the game. He's hugely important for UCC in relation to getting goals and winning matches. He's very much is a huge part of their team, and he hasn't been in the game too much. Another wide there for Blackrock.
Yeah, looked to be Shane O'Keefe, I think, on that occasion.
Yeah, but he never steadied himself. I mean, he actually had time to turn around and strike the ball over the bar, probably just didn't realise it.
Yeah, looked to be in two minds as to whether he was expecting a runner to come on, and in the end just rushed the shot, as you said, Mark.
Yeah, but it's just there is a nervousness about Blackrock that we didn't see here the last day, and they need to get, I suppose, just to settle themselves down. Even they got the goal, but they've given up 3 points since then, and UCC are still on probably the lion's share of the ball.
That's Mark Coleman there. Shane Conway had an intricate passage of play there, but was cut out superbly by Niall Cashman. And I must say, not for the first time that Blackrock are doing so well to kind of cut out those little crossfield passes that UCC are trying to produce. Going to ground there was Andrew Casey. Somehow UCC get it back to Paddy Cadell. Going short, Keith O'Leary missing it, but Shane Conway perfectly positioned to take it. And Conway on the 45-yard line, and that should be straightforward for him. And yes, it is. And that's pushing it out to a draw game.
The draw game, and Blackrock had gone 4 points up, but I really think that Stephen Murphy is struggling today. He struggled with Conor Boylan, and you see, Shane Conway turned him there and was gone immediately. He seems to have taken up the loose man's role, or the spare man at the back for Blackrock.
Okay, down here in front of us, it's Blackrock on the attack and bouncing off Cathal Cormac, losing possession. And a foot race on there to see who's going to get it. And interesting to see there that the corner forward Shane Barrett is offering himself, but doesn't need the assistance of Pádraig Power, who's opted to go himself. And Pádraig Power backed himself from a long way out, and no wonder he did with a finish like that.
That was a great score about Pádraig Power. He kind of went out to control the ball, missed it first, but got it on the turn as he slipped, and over his right shoulder from 45 metres out, just inside the post. It looked as if it might be just tailing outside, but it went over the bar.
Niall Cashman has been central to so much that has been so good about Blackrock so far, and that's Niall Cashman, the centre back, who's after running about 50 yards right to the edge of the exclusion zone. That's a fantastic
score. It's a heartwarming score from Niall Cashman. Picked it up from his own keeper and sold it 40 yards up, beat 4 or 5 UCC players and finished it. Fantastic score.
Super score indeed. Great puck out by the goalkeeper to pick out Cadell, who in turn has gone to his cornerback Cillian O'Dwyer. First time by Dwyer right in towards the corner, and that's Shane Barrett who's on the ball. Great pace by Barrett, going and whizzing it over the crossbar, but that was lovely intricate play there by UCC. As Ger said, this is a system that they've rehearsed time and time again, and great interplay. John O'Sullivan has a man outside him, has a man inside him as well too if he wanted to. Here comes Blackrock, and it's Mark O'Keefe, the other of the O'Keefe family, getting on the score sheet for his first point of the afternoon.
Very good play, I think, from John O'Sullivan as well. He was very, very competent in the ball there, and he made the right. He carried the ball. Maybe it may have been David O'Farrell, carried the ball in and did the right thing by passing it out to the loose man Mark O'Keefe, who stepped in to make sure off his right hand side.
Give a credit to the goalkeeper as well, Mark. Great puck out from Gavin Connolly, down to John Sullivan, so he found the man in space.
That was the full back there, David Lowney, red helmet. Maybe not as red as the famous red helmet of Brian Lohan, but great to see the old colours there of the Clonakilty man. Bouncing off a couple of legs there, and the end result is going to be a sideline here in front of us for UCC. But back there is Cillian O'Dwyer from Killinall, who's down receiving some running repairs, and the sign there to the sideline for him.
There seemed to be a clash of legs with Michael O'Halloran there, I think.
He got in the ribs, Mark. I think he saw John Crowley giving a signal to the ribs, but O'Dwyer is a tough man. He's a hardy bit of stuff. He's a fierce competitor. He's done well on Michael O'Halloran so far, so he won't be down for too long.
We've seen this man point sidelines from all sorts of angles and distances. Let's see what he's going to produce here. Yeah, just falls a bit short. Cashman got it, but it managed to find its way in the end to Mark Keogh. And Keogh's effort, uncharacteristically trailing well wide.
It was vital because
he got a hook in, Colm. He just got the hook in. He miscontrolled the ball that came in to give Mark Keogh the chance, but he did get the hook in credit to him. And it looks as if the forward took a shot and went wide, but great defending there by Niall Cashman to recover.
Cashman has been immense, hasn't he, in the opening half here, and that's him there with the shoulder there to stop David Griffin in his tracks. Somehow UCC getting the ball with Conor Boylan, but is fouled, and I'd say David Griffin will know all about Niall Cashman.
He did. He got a decent shoulder from him, and I'd say the Blackrock defence are disappointed because Niall Cashman and Gary Norbuck had tied up Conor Boylan, but they might, it's very hard. We're a long ways away from it, but the Blackrock management are very disappointed. They felt that maybe there was a bit of holding maybe on the other side, because I think they had him held up at that stage. But you don't need to be conceding frees to Shane Conway as well.
Yeah, the score's locked at 1-8 to 11 points. The 1-8 to Blackrock, and UCC. Well, they were on 11 a few seconds ago. They're now out to 12. As we're edging closer and closer towards the half-time break. Psychologically, Blackrock would love to get a score now just before they head in. Chasing after the corner forward, John O'Sullivan. Got a runner inside him, but O'Sullivan going himself, and why wouldn't he?
But it's been a fantastic response to the Blackrock goal and the points straight away afterwards. UCC fell 4 points down, and they've got 6 points back, and it's very, very level. It's obviously level at the moment, but John O'Sullivan has been electric as well in the first half of Blackrock.
This man has been electric as well. Shane Conway, the man from Lexna and Kerry.
Exhibition of score from Conway off his left hand there, but again credit to the goalkeeper Dylan Desmond with a superb puck out, and both goalkeepers are really, really accurate in the puck out. They've been brave in hitting the guys short. We're not going long all the time, so that was a great score to finish off the first half. And just one thing, Colm, it was great to hear a bit of noise at the match again. The 200 people that have been left in, a lot of Blackrock people I think definitely helps to create the atmosphere. Very
much so. Okay, we'll have more analysis and talk from the two gentlemen to my left hand side. That's coming up in 45 seconds time. For this Co-op Superstores Cork Premier Senior Hurling Championship semi-final. Beautiful day here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Welcome to you wherever you are watching around the world. Well, gentlemen, thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's the game hasn't hit the highlights of a lot of the games that we have seen already this year, Colm. It's not that the standard is down, it's just that there's a change in system. UCC are playing with a sweeper, which I think Blackrock are finding it difficult to play, and a lot of teams find it difficult to play. You'll have 6 Mile Bridge tomorrow playing in the county final above in Clare, and they play 12 fellas behind the ball, a real football style. So Blackrock are finding it hard to probably break that down at this moment in time. And as well as that, I suppose maybe at centre forward, I'd say Paddy Cadell and Paddy O'Loughlin are very much in control straight down the middle, and I can expect a change maybe in the half forward and the centre forward position, particularly for Blackrock. And I would be saying maybe probably immediately if Blackrock are to get into this game. But UCC up front, they have oceans of space in front of them, and they're always out in front of their men. And if they get any of the UCC players, if they get a ball in their hand, more often than not they'll stick it.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd say UCC will be very happy, Colin, with going in at half time a point ahead. Both teams kind of were tit for tat for the start of in quarter one, like, but UCC in quarter two there scored eight times, like 8 points to Blackrock's 1-4. So they'll be very happy to go in a point ahead. I think as I said, their system is difficult to play against. It's they've got guys who know that game and know the system really well, and if they can get Shane Conway and Keogh into the game, and Shane Barnett just got a great score there to come in, they'll be very happy where they are, and I think it's going to ask questions of Blackrock.
Yeah, big questions, I think, and I suppose, look, from a Blackrock perspective, they've hit a couple of uncharacteristic wides, I think, that they will probably be expecting to put over the bar. Plus, they're hitting the ball constantly into Paddy O'Loughlin. And it isn't that he's racing from one side of the field to the other side of the field. He's not. He's actually dropping down on top of him. So Blackrock will have to find a way. Possibly either the full forward or the centre forward. If he's going to stay in the D, you have to either push in on him or push out on him. But leaving him on his own in splendid isolation is not working, or else strike the ball left or right of him, and that your 2 or 3 lads on the inside line need to stay away from the sweeper. That is one way of counteracting it. The second way to counteract it is, and it's really, really brave, is you push a man up on him, and you play 7 on one side and you play 5 on the other side. I don't see Blackrock doing that, because they'd have a concern maybe with the likes of Conway and Conor Boylan, and to a lesser degree, I suppose, Mark Keogh, that potentially they could be match winners on a one-on-one situation.
We had one goal in the first half, kind of came out of nothing. We thought Blackrock would pull away then, but credit to UCC the way they just reeled them back in.
That's an excellent response, as you say. Like, Blackrock went 4 ahead, like, and they had 5 wides in the first half, by my count. If they had got a couple of those, they'd been looking 4 or 5 or 6 at one stage ahead. But fair play, UCC turned around and responded really well, and that's, as I say, these guys are playing together, probably they wouldn't be used to playing this time of the year together, but they've been together along, they're good mates, a lot of them, they hang around together, so there's a lot of pride in that jersey, and they're playing for an opportunity to play in a county final, and they're all back in college and they're around the place, and even though some of them are playing with their clubs, and they're all hurling and they're all playing, and they have great pride in playing for the UCC jersey, and this I think this pitch and suits them down to the ground, big wide open pitch.
Just to take up a point that Mark brought up, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, given your time with UCC. Mark talked about the pressure that seems to be on Blackrock today, the pressure that falls on a club team. Is it fair to say that pressure isn't as immense or as intense with a side like UCC?
Well, there's no pressure on UCC, Colin, going out to play like these guys. The only pressure that's on them is on themselves, because they see a great opportunity. They want to win a Cork County Championship medal. UCC have won it twice. They have Fitzgibbon Cup medals. Would really finish off their UCC career if they won a county championship medal. UCC have only won it twice, and they'd be only too thrilled to do it. So they're going out there today. It's their own internal pressure. You see them down there in the circle together. It's for themselves that they want to do it. So the pressure, as Mark said, is all on Blackrock, because the club situation Blackrock have with their proud tradition. They haven't won it in 18 years. They want to get back to the final again. They've been very impressive all year. So as regards pressure, there certainly is more on Blackrock than there is in UCC.
Yeah, like they have an average score, Blackrock, of 220 this year. Okay, they're at 1-9 at the moment, which is just nearly half it, but they have hit maybe 4 or 5 wides as well. But they're not playing with the same fluency today and the same, I suppose, drive. But that's down to UCC as well. UCC are very, very and comfortable on the sliotar, and they're finding their men. And George, the funny thing is, a big help actually is that there probably isn't a massive crowd here actually, because the UCC players can hear each other when they're calling for the ball, and it's heads up hurling is what they're playing.
Well used to it, Mark.
Absolutely.
They'd have no issue with that whatsoever.
Okay, we've a change on the UCC team. Keith O'Leary is gone, and it's Aina Desmond wearing number 21 that's instead there. Just looking out there, we have all our players. We have. I was looking for the referee there. He was down in the corner hiding on me. Just to mention some more games coming up on the Irish Examiner live streaming service over the next 24 28 hours or thereabouts. This evening, of course, the other semi-final in the Co-op Superstores Cork Premier Senior Hurling Championship. That's Glen Rovers against Erin's Own. Oisín Langan on commentary duty for that. And then tomorrow we're breaking new ground with the Cork Senior Camogie final. That's on at 3 o'clock. And of course that's pitting Inniscarra against Corsi Rovers. And then tomorrow evening at 7:30 it's back to the football. The Bonsecours Cork Premier Senior Football Championship quarter-final, Ballincollig against the champions Nemo. So 3 more games to come on our Irish Examiner live stream service over the next day and a half. Back with the action here. Let's see what UCC can do, and let's see what Pádraig Power can do. And Pádraig Power puts it up and extends the advantage, and what a way to start the second half.
Yeah, great start. But I mean, one thing that we didn't pick up on during the course of the first half is that the amount of players that are actually slipping today. We haven't seen it so far all year, but it is quite noticeable that some of the players, and Richie Lade in particular, coming out to a ball there, slipped, and the ball broke well for Pádraig Power.
That's a great play there by Cathal Cormac to bustle his way out and get Blackrock down to the other end of the field, but great play there by Mark Coleman to cut it out. John O'Sullivan is on the ball. O'Sullivan from 45 yards out. It's dropping short. It should be very easy for Dylan Desmond, the man from Éire Óg, which it is. Great puck out by him to pick out Shane Conway. Falling
interesting switch UCC have made as well, as Mark Coleman's gone over on John Sullivan, who scored 3 points in the first half. So they've made that switch. They've swapped the 2 wing backs.
So let's see what Blackrock can do down that far side of the field. There's John O'Sullivan again, but half blocked as he's trying to get the shot away, eventually finding its way in towards Kieran Cormac. Going short. Oh, great interception there by the cornerback Killian O'Dwyer. Bounced back from that little blow that he had in the first half. Working its way down there towards Shane Barrett, being held up by the defender. And Blackrock back in numbers and back with the centre back Niall Cashman. Big delivery by Cashman, dropping right. Oh, and it's in the net! It's in the net, it's a goal from Blackrock. Unbelievable. And it's that man again, Shane O'Keefe, that has it there.
If we have a replay of it, this is going to be very interesting, because the ball was gone over the bar. The keeper has brought it back into play. Shane O'Keefe was actually in the square when the ball came back into the square. It came back in. Now, I think in the football rules that qualifies, but I'm not 100% certain on the hurling. But it's a big decision coming up here now. Yeah,
I thought Dylan Desmond was just a slight bit casual. I think he thought it was just gone over the bar, and maybe at the last minute there's a wind out there that we're not, he kind of held the ball up at the stage. Did he bring it back from over the crossbar? If he didn't bring it back, I think it's a fair goal that Shane O'Keefe went in after the ball. I think that I'd be saying that's a fair goal. But the question is whether it's gone over the bar or not.
Yeah, I think he was standing inside in the square. When the ball came back into play, he was definitely standing there. He didn't go running after the ball. So
I think he's giving the goal.
I'd say it's looking like it.
I think he's giving the goal.
Yeah, looks like he's giving it.
Yes. Big fill up now for the Rockies.
That's a massive turning point in this game. And Shane O'Keefe, to his credit, as he was, right place, right time.
Absolutely, and two goals, two major scores for the Rockies, and 2 goals that are needed.
(2-9-14) is this score. The scoreboard here reading 2-9-16, but 2-9-14 seems to be the correct score. Let's see now what UCC's response is going to be like, as Andrew Casey is chasing after that one. Another player going to ground, back onto his feet, and Andrew Casey from an acute angle has hit that, and he's hit that over the crossbar.
Yeah, and score from Andrew Casey there off his left hand. Again, Mark said a lot of people slipping on the ball. He went down, won it, and turned back around. Looked for options outside. There didn't seem to be too many, but he off his left hand struck it over the bar. That's a great score, and again a very good response to the goal above UCC.
Scoreboard here in Cork Equipe seems to be going askew here, but we'll keep track on our own score here. Want to mention as well, a big Blackrock fan watching in New York. John Reardon just got in touch, and we hope he's enjoying the action as it's unfolding here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. this afternoon. Tracking under it there is Conor Boylan, the danger man from the Piercing. Showed so dangerous in that opening half. Forced to go back to Pádraig Power. And Power, the man from Blarney, is after driving that one wide. What a performance by him last week for his club. 3 goals and 2 points in Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship action. And then, of course, went out and hit 1-4 against Blarney. Now, there's some confusion here, Mark.
Yeah, it's the scoreboard, I think.
Scoreboard is wrong,
in fairness to the linesman is bringing it to the attention of the referee that the scoreboard isn't correct. You know, and it seems to be, I think it's
I have a 2-9 to 15 points as the score.
Yeah,
2-9
to 15 is what we have on our screen as well, but the 2 scoreboards here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh are showing different scores. We have it as 2-9 to 15, and we have it 2-9 to 15 now on 2 different scoreboards. So let's try and get the math done on that, as UCC coming out here with Paddy Cadell. The new man Ian Desmond going right across the field, and that is a fine score there from looked to be the wing back. Was it David Griffin on that far side?
David Griffin on the far side received a pass from Ian Desmond, who went down the field. Looked at it that he overcooked the pass to Andrew Casey, but David Griffin coming down the left hand side and off his right hand, a great score to put UCC back in front again.
Great awareness again, Ger, to look back like to a player who seemed to be in a more awkward angle, but credit to the wing back.
There's a chance here now.
Great chance here. It's you see Anna pushing the back there, and that's surely going to be free in there. Conor Boylan was the man that got possession, was putting the head down, racing through on goal.
It was probably a good free to give away because it was a 2-1 situation, and I think there was definitely a goal opportunity was going to come to UCC if he stayed standing. But I am a bit surprised that Blackrock aren't ringing the changes. We're 7 minutes into the second half now, and UCC I think have assumed control of the game. Maybe the goal that Blackrock have received has maybe stopped that, but they certainly have a very strong bench, and they should be starting to use it.
So Shane Conway now standing over the free. Another yard or two when we were into penalty territory, but Conway happy to take the free. And
again, lads, if you look at it like this, is UCC have scored 17 times, Blackrock have scored 11, you know, and that's always a sign of, you know, the possession that a team will have.
Back come UCC on numbers there. Owen Clifford, the cornerback, but he's dispossessed. What falls through there, and eventually it finds its way to a wing forward. That's Mark Keogh back helping out his defence. No place for the faint-hearted down there. Eventually Blackrock ferreting the ball out, coming into the corner forward there. Still John O'Sullivan, the shot from him, and it's into the side netting off the keeper, who was well positioned on his near post.
Yeah, fantastic defending from Paddy O'Loughlin. You know, John O'Sullivan. But he had sidestepped him once, and he pushed him back, and great save in the goals as well from Dylan Desmond.
There's John Cashman now, I think, is coming on for Blackrock, and
Tyke DC's also coming on, I think.
I suppose the substitutions that we were waiting to happen, they've now made them. John Cashman's going in at wing back, and Tyke DC going in at wing forward.
So John Cashman and Tyke DC. Cashman wearing number 22 and Tyke DC wearing number 23. We got confirmation who's made way there in a second. As we watch the resultant 65 there from Alan Connolly.
Again, I suppose just the referee again letting the play go. Column, that's Alan Connolly's first time to take a 65 out of free in the game, so an indication of how the referee is letting it flow.
2 goals and 10 now to Blackrock. UCC on 17 points. It's John Cashman getting an early touch on the ball. Shot coming in there from distance though, and that one is trail wide. Well, we saw the impact that DC made 2 weeks ago. We wonder, will he still work the oracle this afternoon for Blackrock? With Cathal Cormac. They go for it. It's falling and breaking, but UCC Every player seemingly knowing their position and knowing their role, not all being sucked in. Shane Conway holding off 3 players. Conway losing possession. Eventually it's Blackrock that have it, but there's
it's an unbelievable decision there.
Strange decision there now on Alan Conley.
No, I think your man was held. He actually played it off his hurley, is what I thought he did. And he was swung around by the arm, but
yeah, referee was quite close to it, to be fair. The end result is a free to UCC with Shane Conway standing over. Minutes elapsed here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. You're watching the Co-op Superstores Cork Premier Senior Hurling Championship semi-final as Shane Conway pushes UCC into a 2-point lead in the sunshine in Cork. Now, let's see what the response is going to be like there. It's Shane O'Keefe. He's had 2 goals already and he's brought to ground there as he tried to build up a head of steam. And there's a warm response from the far side there.
Yannick cheers from the Rocky side. Look, maybe teeving it up after the last 3, as Mark said.
Yeah, I'd like to see a replay of it again, you know. But I think Blackrock are getting a lot of out of Shane O'Keefe today. I'd be inclined to maybe drift them out off the side of the D to take Paddy O'Loughlin out of it and play more ball to Shane O'Keefe, and maybe have Alan Connolly then and the likes of Michael Halloran feeding off of him, because O'Keefe is a great hand and he is a real outlet for the Rockies. Maybe even do Blackrock need to move Michael Halloran to wing forward, put Dyke DC into the inside line and Killian on the wire and change it up a little bit.
2-11 to 18 points after that conversion. And keeps Blackrock on a accidental clash across the face there of Shane Conway. John O'Sullivan putting his hands up to the referee. It was completely accidental, it must be said, and he's going over to the Kerryman. Little pat on the shoulder there and an apology in the ear.
Just wondering, Colin, when the puck goes with UCC, we better have to go short with the extra man. They have an extra defender inside them to work the ball out. They're pucking it down. The last 2 or 3 puck outs have come down here in front of us on the 45-metre line, and Blackrock are outnumbering their opponent 3-2. So if you have an extra man inside in the back line, you know, and you've Paddy O'Loughlin there, and all the guys are very comfortable on the ball.
Was working so
it was
well.
Working, you know, why change it, you know?
And we were crediting Dylan Desmond as well too for his accuracy in those puck outs a little earlier. Conway's back on his feet, no worse for wear, showing his skill there. Gone to ground, forced to go back to Mark Coleman. Goes across the field there towards Éanna Desmond. He's swallowed up, and Blackrock breaking it down. We had a runner there for a second. I was watching John O'Sullivan calling for it.
That's an inspirational goal for Tyke.
He didn't need a win when you've Tyke DC.
An inspiration, but great hassling from Daniel Meany in the middle. Conway had it over to Coleman, over to Éanna Desmond, and they overturned the ball.
It's gone right over John O'Sullivan and Mark Coleman. Coleman getting back quickly though, but he's got company in the shape of Daniel Meany again. Gone through a number of legs. Eventually it's Coleman that manages to ferret it out, takes a little push in the back from Niall Cashman, who in turn gets it downfield as far as Kieran Cormack. Blackrock now seem having a bit more urgency, a bit of a hit and hope effort there by the Blackrock man. And hit and hope, but no hope as it trails a few feet wide.
He has come into the game, in fairness to Kieran Cormack. He was pretty much out of the game in the first half, but he has had good influence in the first 12 to 13 minutes of the second half. But Blackrock was starting to get into the game and starting to win a lot of the 50-50 balls now.
Yeah, but as Jar said, not helping themselves or UCC with the long puck out there as Tyke DC getting onto it. Great play though by UCC, working it out to Andrew Casey. Casey though is fouled by Daniel Meany, and I think the referee's going to move it forward. Is he a small bit for a bit of descent? Yes, he is, an extra 10-15 yards, and that'll make Shane Conway's job even easier.
Yeah, and you know, like, the free was committed just inside the Blackrock 65, and now he's brought it up to the other 65. I mean, there's no need for that petulance, because, you know, it's a 65 now rather than being maybe an 85-yard free.
Shane Conway from Lexna. And Shane Conway has driven that one over the bar yet again. He is a fantastic marksman, there is no doubt about it. Great puck up by the goalkeeper there, eventually finding its way to Michael O'Halloran, quite this afternoon by his high standards, eventually finding it out towards Killian Cormac. Cormac losing possession, David Griffin in there, being helped by the other wing back Mark Coleman, forced to go all the way back. And here come UCC down in front of us again in acres of space. That's their wing forward there, Mark Keogh, being held up, and a great block, to be fair, by the defender down there, Gary Norberg, knocking it out for a sideline.
Say Blackrock would be crying out now for the water break, just to get their troops fired up. They're 2 points down 15 minutes ago. You know, they had their sights set in a county final place, and you know, very much at the moment UCC are the better team overall. Blackrock haven't shown the same fluency and determination that they showed against Douglas in the previous round, but there's certainly more in them. They just need to, you know, sometimes you need something to happen for a team, and it's just not happening for them at the moment.
Well, what you saw there was a piece of magic.
Right behind it there, absolutely, from Shane Conway. He's capable of that. He's an absolutely superb hurler, and just before the water break, to take a sideline puck 35 metres out, split the post. Great score, and as Mark said, for UCC will be very happy. You know, they're keeping their noses in front. They're not letting Blackrock dictate the game in any shape or form, and they'll be happy now at 15 minutes to go. It's all to play for.
Yeah, and Conway has 9 points scored. I make it. 2 from play, 7 from 6 from frees, and 1 from a sideline. And he's showing an array of skills here today. But we always knew that Conway, if there was a transfer market, sure, I'm sure he's one of the fellas that you'd like to have. He's a fantastic player, great pace, great poise, equally competent off his left and off his right, and he's a huge help to UCC today.
Yeah, that was an absolutely sublime strike. He was probably 30 yards out on the sideline. Connection like that wouldn't have been a miss at the Irish Open ongoing today. The second round completed this morning, so they're up and running with their third round action down there. Bit chilly up here, lads. Is it just me?
We'd like to be out in the sun on the far side of the pitch, but again, just to UCC again, 7 scores in that quarter. Blackrock got 5, you know, and you know the goal was a tad fortunate from that point of view. So UCC will be very happy again. They're keeping the scoreboard tipping over. And you know, they're putting the pressure on Blackrock to come up with the answers.
What's great here yet again for the second time is you often see a team concede a goal and dropping the heads, but UCC just take it as a reason to up the pace yet again.
Yeah, no, they've again, they're an experienced team. They know each other really well, and they've been in the situations before. They've gone down the wire in Fitzgibbon Cup semi-finals in injury time and extra time with you know, sideline cuts from Mark Coleman last year. So they'll be well used to this, and they'll be trying to keep the scoreboard tipping over, as I say, and they're asking serious questions of the Rockies. You're
into the final 15 minutes of this Co-op Superstores Cork Premier Senior Hurling Championship semi-final, being live streamed on the Irish Examiner with thanks to the Co-op Superstores. First of 4 matches that we are broadcasting over the course of this weekend, and we'll have more details on that a little later. Free there being awarded to Blackrock. I think he blew it in anticipation of the ball going over the sideline. It hadn't gone over. I think he left it. I think this will be a throw ball. I think that John O'Sullivan was there. I thought he had been fouled, but you're calling it correctly. Joe Larkin, our match referee this afternoon. No, eventually it does go out over the sideline, and it is going to fall Blackrock's way on that far side in the sunshine. Just taking up Mark's point there, Colin, is there something Blackrock can do to get Michael O'Halloran into the game? He's not like he's not on the game at all in any shape or form. You know, would it be better off maybe to put him in centre forward or put him in top of the sweeper, see if we can get him in the game? That's a fine strike there from that far side. Brilliant score. Well, DC again. And I'd mentioned before the water break that Blackrock needs something to ignite them. Is that going to be the thing that ignites them? But I still think leaving Paddy O'Loughlin on his own, with Michael O'Halloran, with Tyke DC, I'd be inclined to put him in Jura on top of him and let him mark 2 fellas. Short puck out there to David Lowney. Maybe UCC bench have been hearing the advice that you're coming up here regarding the puck out strategy, but breaking down, and it's back with Blackrock. And the effort there is it John Cashman, I think, that's getting it, but it's driven it wide.
Yeah, Shane O'Keefe, another wide for Shane, and but good pressure put on by David Lowney to force him out and to shoot over his shoulder. But again, possibly would have been better off to attack the ball. He waited for it to bounce and gave the UCC defender time to get up on him.
Oh, wonderful puck up by the goalkeeper there. Superb play by Shane Barrett to keep it in play, but Barrett's pass going astray, and it's back here with Blackrock. It's Robbie Cotter, I think, that's down there being bundled up, but no free being accruing. And UCC back in numbers, but there's only 2 Blackrock players waiting for it. And one of those is John Cashman getting it down there towards his full forward, but credit to Owen Clifford getting down on it, bringing Paddy O'Loughlin back into the game. And
Owen Clifford has done really well, Colm, as well, and Alan Connolly has been there, one of their danger men all year, and Owen Clifford from Clodove has really played well in him.
Yeah, it's gone back, and a great block there, second bite of the cherry, as UCC trying to pick it up with the man wearing 21A in a Desmond. He loses it, and Blackrock on a bit messy there, but Blackrock all importantly have possession with Daniel Meany. Overcooked the pass though, and Shane Barrett was willing to take it, and Barrett willing to take a shot from distance as well.
Yeah, that's a
bad score to concede.
Well, it's just like great pressure by UCC, because they made the Blackrock 3 or 4 players funnel the ball, and Daniel Meany a loose clearance of Shane Barrett, and fantastic score, having taken a big hit from John Cashman over on the north stand side while ago.
They're back in numbers again, and Paddy O'Loughlin, he's just so calm on the ball. Paddy Cadell so too. First time ball by Cadell. Oh, and that's a lovely piece of play by Power. Alright, Power, the way he just killed the ball, turned and gets the shot away. That was a piece of class there.
But the same thing applies there. Again, the puck outs, Blackrock have extra defenders, and they're pucking long into where UCC have an extra defender. So would they be better off to walk the ball up the pitch, whereas obviously when you have Shane O'Keefe, he's a good target, but UCC have extra defenders back there, and when it goes up there, it's 2-on-2, and they've been very efficient with their shooting, but I know Blackrock have just been better off trying to walk the ball up the pitch.
Somehow Conor Boylan managed to lose possession, and Blackrock managing to regroup, and a shot there from the centre back from Niall Cashman, but that one is those wides, lads, are going to prove very costly.
That's an expensive one, because he had a little bit of time and it's a score. It's just that the pressure that's on them at this moment in time now. They're 3 points down with 12 minutes on the clock. They need to get DC, I'd say, into the full forward line. I don't know, are they going to get enough scores, Colm, will they need goals to win this one?
Or would you push O'Halloran right on the edge of the square as well too? He's a big operator.
Young
Chance
Connolly
coming up! Oh!
Fantastic goal from Connolly. High ball in, wouldn't be expecting to get it, but he caught it, turned one hand into the net, did a Wimbledon on it, one hand into the net. Massive score for the Rockies.
I think I put the curse on Owen Clifford like a couple of minutes ago to say that he was doing so well, but a great goal from Alan Connolly. A ball in, it looked 3v2 inside, advantage UCC, but Connolly, not the tallest and not the biggest of men, caught the ball, and as I said, one-handed bat to the net. A really great goal, inspirational goal, and if Blackrock are good enough now, they can go on to win the game from here.
We were talking Route 1, we were talking goals, and boy, did Blackrock deliver. Probably one of the smaller men in their full forward line. Now, as we've seen time and time again, UCC's response to conceding a goal has been impressive, and Mark Keogh from 45 yards has put that one over the bar.
It's a great response.
And that has been the response all day long, is to the Blackrock goals. The UCC forwards always come up with a point for their team.
No. Coming back at pace there. Oh, and yet again defender taking the wrong option here. Pumping it in there towards Boylan on it, trying to turn and twist and loses possession. Great credit to the 2 Blackrock defenders there, back in numbers, and dispossessing Boylan.
There definitely was a goal scoring opportunity there from Boylan, but you'd have to credit Gary Narbuck for the pressure he put on it, and Richie Lade doubled up on him then and dispossessed him and gave away the free.
Huge ball down by Gavin Connolly, but back in numbers again, UCC. Mark Coleman going back as far as Dylan Desmond. Desmond's shot though going out here, and it's a possession going back to Blackrock here in front of us, being quickly taken there by John Cashman, taking the return. Cashman opting to go right across the field out towards his wing back to Cathal Cormac, and Cathal Cormac from well over 65 yards has put that one over the bar. Game on here, lads.
Yeah, fantastic score, and well worked from the sideline ball.
Yeah, not too sure the sideline. He took the sideline ball a yard outside the pitch, which I'm not sure is allowed, but he got the ball back to Cathal Cormac, and he took the inspiration, took the brave call, and took it and struck it over the bar. It was a great score.
UCC being pinned back a small bit there. Huge urgency in the Blackrock play in the last few moments, but out comes Paddy Cadell. He's going to try and resurrect something. Aina Desmond from Castleline, and Aina Desmond from just inside the 45 yard has put that one over the bar.
Yeah, and again, if you give any of the UCC players an opportunity, they will score it.
Again,
real
great
urgency in the last few moments.
Inspirational again from Paddy Cadell, the Tipperary man playing centre back, looking really, really hungry and fit. He won the ball in his own half and came up the field, chased by a number of Blackrock men, but had the calm and the composure, passed it out to Aina Desmond, and a great score. And here's another interception.
Oh, yet another interception, and that's Shane Conway who's going to reap the rewards there. I give that as about 2 or 3 scores in the last few minutes that have just been simple.
Just that's composure, Colm. That's a bit of panic in the last couple of minutes. Now the game is in a melting pot, and it's going to come down to some team that that can hold their composure. And UCC have been very good in this situation before.
Yes, indeed. Mark Keogh is on it here from just inside halfway. It's going to drop, and the goalkeeper chasing out over it, and did very well, judging the bounce to perfection, going out as far as his wing back to Cathal Cormac. Cormac going route one, but yet again there's that big hand of Paddy O'Loughlin underneath it, picking out Mark Keogh. The Kilmallock man and the Kilcheel and Kilcash man combining. A collision there, Shane Conway falling to the ground, and Blackrock here in front of us with John Cashman. He's got on a lot of balls since his introduction. Great play again by O'Loughlin to divert it out to Mark Coleman. This man has pace to burn. Andrew Casey, nice 1-2 back as far as Coleman, who's going out wide there towards Boylan, and Boylan from 65 doesn't connect properly, trickles into the goalkeeper, who's going to return it down there on the far side with interest. Yet again it's Mark Coleman in the right place at the right time. Still Coleman, will he go himself? Mark Coleman from right out on the sideline. Has he judged that one?
He has this one as well.
Has he judged that one? Yes, he has. That is some score. You've been treated to exhibition of score taking and fielding here this afternoon. That was the big hand of Mark Keogh underneath that one, but a foul being committed, and it's a free back to Blackrock, which Niall Cashman is standing over.
I think UCC could argue there that it definitely when he went to hand past the ball, his hand was pulled back, but Joe Larkin has given the free, and big call now at this stage for Alan Connolly. Are they going to go for it, or is he going to just drop it in?
Looks like he's going to drop it in, Jar.
3 goals and 14 points to 26 points. He's dropping it, overcooking it though, and he's driven it over. And it looked there that he was aiming to put it on the edge of the square. We're at 30 minutes, but we will have time afterwards. 3:15 to 26 points. And shot coming across here. Oh, the UCC doing so well to keep that in play there. That's the big man Boylan. Still Conor Boylan. Getting across, looked to be impeded. Referee saying playing on, but UCC still having the ball, losing it. And out come Blackrock again. It's Daniel Meany. He's gone route one, dropping it in there. All they go up for it, but it's a foot race there to get to it. And in the end, a bit of a scrum and a skirmish developing. Who's going to come out with it? It's going to be a UCC man, looks to be the fullback Lowney, working it out as far as Shane Barrett. Over flies past him. Blackrock coming back again. Cathal Cormac in on top of the exclusion zone, and it's a Blackrock then hand that hands it. It's Michael O'Halloran. He's been quiet this afternoon, but that could be a a very, very crucial catch by him.
Crucial catch, like, and there's still only 2 points in the game, and I suppose a bit of composure now from a Blackrock perspective. I mean, tap the ball over here, get the ball back to a game, force the keeper to go long with the puck out if possible. Your half backline in there has to stand up. Cathal Cormac, John Cashman have to stand up, win this puck out, get it back down to the forward line. I think, it wouldn't surprise me if this game will go to a draw yet, Colm, but it's just that I suppose UCC are definitely the more dominant team. Their hurling is excellent, and they seem to be in front for an awful lot more balls in the overall context of the game. But there's only a point in it now. Referee's probably going to play maybe 2 or 3 minutes extra time and stuff like that, but it's composure, and it's just that 32 counties, 1 versus 2. Will that come into it coming down the stretch here now?
Point between the sides as we're heading into injury time, and it's Blackrock that have won possession there, but they've lost it just as quickly. It's UCC back with the cornerback Cillian O'Dwyer. First time ball by him in towards the 21-yard line, but the defender doing ever so well there, and it's giving Cathal Cormac the chance to get them flowing again as Blackrock going for an equaliser. Somehow Mark Coleman getting on the ball, David Griffin now on the ball, first time by him in as far as it looks to be Owen McCarthy.
Conor Boylan.
Is it Boylan?
Is it
Boylan?
Wide.
Oh, wide.
He's driven it wide. Big clearance there by the goalkeeper. Big hand going up for it, bouncing off there. Shane O'Keefe scored those 2 goals. Somehow gets as far as Mark Keogh. Oh, it's breathtaking stuff up here. Race going on for his Pádraig Power. Richie Lade is tracking him back. It's Power, man from Blarney, from distance.
Great score.
Yes, he has. He's put it out to a 2-point game as we head into the closing on the 2nd minute of injury time. Gone down the far end of the field.
It's gone now. Cashman going straight from the puck out.
Yeah, Cashman gone over the bar. It looked to be, I was watching Connolly being pulled down there. So we're back to the very few dying minutes of this game here. This Co-op Superstores Cork Premier Senior Hurling Championship semi-final. Referee, it looked to be a throw ball, but the referee saw that there was an arm around the neck, and that's going to be a free to Blackrock, right bang on halfway.
Yeah, I think if possibly the high hurley around the neck early on, it looked like then he threw the ball, but I think Joe Loughlin was correct in the first award of the free, but tis a massive free for young Connolly now, because his team are level. We're a bit unsure as to what time the injury time is left, and I think some people are unsure what the exact score is.
.317-27 is what we're being told. And the shot there from Connolly.
That's a great score for us.
Has gone over.
It is a great score, John.
Yeah. A great score on the free, like he put it up in the air. It was a fantastic score. Bit of confusion here on the scoreboard. We're not sure what exactly the score is.
Yeah, some confusion here with the scoreboard here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh yet again.
Scoreboard has it UCC a point ahead, is that correct?
Point down in that.
We have it as
317-27 is what's the scoreboard, but
yeah.
318-11. I think it's level as well.
We have it as
think
level,
it's level,
yeah.
but the scoreboard seems to be incorrect.
Yeah, it's a level game. It's a level game.
318-27. There's a lot of head scratching going on here in the press area. Mark Coleman with the sideline strike here in front of us, trying to get it in towards his corner forward, Shane Barrett, and with that is the final whistle there from Joe Larkin.
Extra time.
Yeah, my two favourite words, Ger.
Extra time.
Extra time.
Fair play to Alan Connolly. I think if just like in last puck of the game, he would have very tight for a young 19-year-old to come out and to put the ball over the bar from right in the halfway line. Really under huge pressure for his team to strike the ball over the bar. Really great score. And UCC, after scoring 27 times, still haven't won the game.
Yeah, and Ger, I suppose if you were told that Blackrock would score 3:27 before the start of the game, you'd say it'd be a long ways to winning a game, wouldn't you?
3:17, yeah.
Yeah, 3:17, yeah. Fantastic score.
Yeah, confirmation there on the PA system that we will have 2 periods of 10 minutes of extra time. Hopefully you'll be able to stay with us on our Co-op Superstores sponsored coverage of the Co-op Superstores Cork Premier Senior Hurling Championship semi-final. As I said, this is the first of 4 games being broadcast by the Irish Examiner this weekend, as this evening we have the other semi-final, Glen Rovers in action against the Iron Zone. Tomorrow it's the Cork Senior Camogie final at Enniscarra against Corsi Rovers. That game getting underway at 3 o'clock. Trace O'Callaghan and Paddy Murray, the Cork Senior Hurling our senior camogie manager on commentary duty alongside Oisin Langan for that. And then tomorrow evening at 7:30 down in Páirc Uí Rinn, it's the football, the Bon Secours Cork Premier Senior Football Championship quarter-final, the delayed game from about a week ago of Nemo Rangers and Ballincollig. Well, we're still here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Dramatic stuff, but I suppose we have to say huge credit to, I know Ger was just talking about young Alan Connolly, but for the collective of Blackrock, they were on the ropes and they pulled themselves from their bootstraps and back up and alive.
I think so, very much so. And even the Gavin Connolly in the goals for Blackrock gave a ball out to Niall Cashman between the 265s, and he struck it over the bar as well. That was a vital score earlier on to bring it from, I think, 3 points down to 2. Conor Boylan probably got an opportunity for a goal and probably got an opportunity for a point as well to maybe stretch it out. But look, I think in the overall context, I think UCC are marginally the better team overall, but Blackrock are fighting tooth and nail, and they've actually really only got into it in the last quarter here today. Will some people say they were playing football last weekend? Tonight's game against the Glen, the other semi-final, has been 4 weeks since they'll, what is the cause? Because we were here 2 weeks ago when we saw Blackrock against Douglas, and the intensity that night was ferocious. We've seen nothing like it today from Blackrock, and I think it's, as Jora's already said, it is probably down to the fact that the system that UCC are playing, very accustomed to it, but the 7 defenders is certainly causing Blackrock trouble. But Shane O'Keefe has been the one player who's taken the game to UCC today, and any time the ball has been struck high to him, he's won it. Blackrock need to do more of that, but they need to get runners off his shoulder as well. Okay,
now we can see Tom Kinney down there. What's he saying, Ger?
Hard to know. I'd say from a point of view, I'd see Cullum, they looked a bit deflated really. I said, they're in together, but they put themselves in a great position to win the game. Hard out to go again for another 20 minutes. These lads wouldn't have trained as much as what probably as the Rockies would have had collectively together. So you would wonder, will fitness play a part in the next 20 minutes now at this stage? So they got to take it on again. They got to go back to take it on the way they did for most of the game. They've been probably the better side overall, but Blackrock, in fairness, have stuck in there. Maybe a fortuitous goal by Shane O'Keefe, but a absolutely brilliant goal by Alan Connolly. So all to play for now at this stage, and
you probably have the Blarney mentals looking in this evening with a county final coming up next week. And to be fair, their 3 players have been outstanding today. Paddy Power in particular has got 4 points from play. Probably Shane Barrett is quieter than normal, but Mark Coleman has been excellent as well at wing back. The Clonakilty lads down in West Cork with a big West Cork final tomorrow. David Lowney playing full back, playing excellent as well. Didn't maybe expect to be getting another 20 minutes here today, but it's all happening here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh.
Well, they're having the 2 captains having words with Joe Larkin there as to their positions, etc. So they're all falling into play then as a result of that. So exciting stuff here on the Irish Examiner live stream. It's my first extra time of the championship so far, and thankfully we've plenty of wiggle room anyway with the other game not taking place until 7:30 this evening.
Yeah, it might be hard to get some people out of the stadium after the game with the other match coming up, but it's a job that has to be done. But it's it's fantastic, and I think it's great for Blackrock to have hung in there now. And the biggest question now is, can they kick on from here? They have a few more subs in. We said likes of Alan O'Callaghan. I can see him playing a role before the game is over.
Yes, indeed. We're off and running into the first half of extra time. And let's see where this epic is going to finish this evening. It's Pádraig Power dispossessing Niall Cashman. Power going across the field there towards Mark Keogh, breaking away from Keogh. He did well though to keep battling on. And eventually it's John Cashman who's impressed since he came on halfway through the second half, but Keogh and company still not giving up on the fight. And there's Mark Keogh eventually getting back on it, having started that, going back as far as Mark Coleman. Nice pass by Coleman to pick out Shane Barrett, and Shane Barrett popping that one over. The two Blarney men combining there, but credit to Mark Keogh there for not giving up on what many would have considered a lost cause.
That's right, yeah, and I mean and there's an interception here now and a goal opportunity for UCC.
Shane Conway picking out Pádraig Power. Power being held up by the goalkeeper. And let's see what the referee is going to do here.
There's no black card in hurling. Colm, I think he has no choice but to give him a yellow card. He took one for the team there at that stage. Interception again by Shane Conway. Passed it through to Pádraig Power. Got his touch, and as he tried to round the keeper, he just dragged him down.
You'd have never done that in your day.
I tried to do it in Killarney once upon a time, but I got bowled over.
I think Gary Norwick is going into the book for a tackle on Shane Conway off the ball as well here. But there's been a couple of occasions there now where the Blackrock players were turned over. UCC have really started very brightly in extra time here, and I'd say just a bit of sharpness and stuff like that. Like Blackrock are trying to play heads up hurling, and the younger students from UCC are sharp, and like the amount of interceptions that have gone on today is dramatic as well.
Gavin Conley, like a sheepish schoolboy coming out there to Joe Larkin. He knew his fate, and it was a yellow card. So two back-to-back yellow cards there for Blackrock, and the end result is that free to UCC, which Shane Conway is going to take. Showing no ill effect there from that clash with Gary Norberg that resulted in the Blackrock full-back picking up a yellow card. Shane Conway doing the business, and UCC starting the better in this first period of extra time. We've written off Blackrock once or twice before, and they've put us back in their box. Here they come again.
Very good score from Daniel Meany under fierce pressure from Shane Barrett as well, and a great score off his left hand side. An important score for Blackrock after UCC stretching out the lead to 2 points so early in the first period of extra time.
It's Shane Conway yet again. He's been integral, hasn't he? Oh, and he's after taking a heavy hand right across the head there, and he's hurriedly being kicked away by the Blackrock player. The second time in the space of a minute Shane Conway has found himself on the ground.
Great bit of skill there from Conway, and again a brilliant puck out from Dylan Desmond. Found Conway controlling the ball, and he's so elusive when he's on the ball. Kind of drew the tackle from Tyke DC, who gets a yellow card for his troubles.
Conway receiving the running repairs yet again, and bouncing back up. A marked man in every sense of the word today.
Yeah, and it's 3 yellow cards for Blackrock, and the 4 minutes of extra time have just been played, and they were all hits, like, you know. So are they getting stuck into the students? Hoping that it wouldn't pay later on, Colm, that they don't get a second yellow card.
Shane Conway's effort there from distance, an exhibition, Ger.
That's brilliant. That's a brilliant free after getting the belt. You know, he came back up, dusted himself down, and from inside the 65-metre line, threw it over the bar. Great score, inspiration for UCC again.
Quality score, quality player as well.
Yeah, touch of class, all right. And Blackrock trying to come back and dropping it, aiming towards the edge of the square, but flying past the far post of Dylan Desmond, the man from Éire Óg, and out wide. And as Mark pointed out, Dylan, his full back David Lowney and James Keating have more club championship commitments tomorrow, so they've a hectic weekend, and the recovery session, I'd say, will be starting very soon tonight.
That's a brilliant score
from right in front of us here from Tyke Deasy. We talked about him before the game. He is a class operator, and he just proved that again right here from about 45 yards, but right on the sideline.
Yeah, he's moved in kind of as a double centre forward, either marking Paddy Cadell or Paddy O'Loughlin, but he's a rangy player. The one previously he put wide, but that was an absolutely class score off his left hand there out under the stand.
That was another class puck out by the goalkeeper as well, but it's been turned over, and Blackrock coming here with the man wearing number 20. He loses it though, and it's taken up by the fullback David Lowney. It was Robbie Cotter, I think. Lowney getting it out there, and it's eventually with Paddy O'Loughlin. Shane Barrett. And here come UCC yet again. Incredible work ethic by these guys. Paddy Cadell going back, Andrew Casey in support. Still Casey, Jinx this way, Jinx that way. Tired legs there of Daniel Meany, can't keep up with him. Meany somehow manages to funnel back, and here come Blackrock yet again. Hand going up for it there from Cotter. Spills away from him. Alan Connolly trying to help out there. Eventually it looked like it had found its way. Yeah, it's back out with the wing back there, Stephen Murphy, and Murphy from about 45 yards has driven it wide. Substitute coming on there for UCC, man wearing number 23. It's Owen McCarthy from Enniscarra. Scored 1-1 against Immakilly.
Andrew Casey is the lad making way.
From Ballyduffore upper, the wing forward making way.
Yeah.
320 to 30 points. Sorry, Ger.
Oh, McCarthy's gone in full forward, and is it again? UCC have taken 2 off. By mistake, Padraig Power has come off as well. He thought he was coming off.
I thought for a second the UCC management might be minding a couple of the Blarney fellas for next week, Joe. But I thought there's a lot at stake with a senior county semi-final here today.
It's Niall Cashman on the sideline there. 320 to 30 points. Imagine that for scoring.
Michael O'Halloran making way for Blackrock, which is a bit of a surprise. I know he hasn't been in the game at all, but you'd be always hoping that Michael would come up trumps with a score, and I think that's a bit of a surprise call.
That's a big call.
Big call down the final stretch here. To be fair, he had been coming back from an ankle fracture, so maybe match fitness, etc., maybe still a factor with him. Shane Conway again. Oh, lovely pass by Conway for Mark Coleman, who was coming at pace. Coleman going to ground. Can only get it as far as Blackrock man. It's pumped back into the corner there again, and a heavy blow there, but Robbie Cotter pushed out over the sideline, but the linesman saying that was a line ball. And good play there by Killian O'Dwyer to force that out. And Mark Coleman will take his time on the job back to get this one away.
Fatigue is definitely, the game has dropped, and from a pace point of view, you know that it's tough going out there on a big pitch, and UCC making another substitution, trying to get fresh legs in again. Another strange call, maybe taking Conor Boylan off.
Verling, is it? Coming on from Clodove.
Again, Conor Boylan has had a fine game and was very effective up front, and maybe it's something that could take him off and give him a rest and even bring him back on again.
Yeah. Good connection by Mark Coleman, but he can only pick out Niall Cashman. Be returned though with interest yet again. As the UCC defence, just telepathic understanding of where everybody seems to be or where everybody needs to be, picking it out to the man who's just on a few moments ago, Owen McCarthy, but McCarthy, the man from Enniscarra, has driven that one wide. Yet again it's UCC who come, and yet again it's Mark Yo with the effort from distance. Had shown great composure a little earlier, but that one has gone wide. Risky there by Gavin Connolly, stepping out a bit far, but went over the line and out wide. Puck out by Connolly. if you think for him from scores alone, he's hit the ball 30 times, and you have to add in all the wides and everything like that. Paddy O'Loughlin there holding the ball as referee Joe Larkin blows the half-time whistle in extra time in this epic, in this Co-op Superstores Cork Senior Hurling Championship semi-final. If you're just joining us, well, you're after missing a bit of an epic. We're into extra time, half-time and extra time. The score, 3 goals and 20 to 30 points. UCC on the 30 points.
Yeah, and I suppose in some respects, Blackrock, I suppose, on a really positive note, they haven't conceded any goal here this evening, and they haven't looked like conceding a goal. Maybe on a number of occasions, players got in at the final step and frees were conceded, and maybe yellow cards were taken to stop them from getting goals. But there's nothing in it. But I think Jorrell mentioned that fatigue is starting to set in now, and probably the fittest team we could possibly see this out at the moment, because that 10 minutes went pretty fast there. But it's impossible to call, but I would say slightly at the moment, UCC are just seem like slight favourites at the moment to get through.
Yeah, it's very difficult to call. I think the first couple of minutes here now, obviously UCC have been ahead. I'm not too sure if they've been behind at any stage during the match, and if Blackrock can get a couple of scores early on in the second, in extra time, it might make a difference to them to push them on. I think UCC have, as you say, probably been the better side and have led all the way through, and Blackrock have been chasing the game. If the Rockies could taper on with a couple of scores earlier on, it'll ask serious questions to UCC then.
And look, I suppose anyone would have the 200 people that are actually here. There's probably 90% of them are from Blackrock, but it's just they haven't been able to get their noses in front. If they do happen to get in front, I think their crowd and their supporters, the subs that they have, and they have a very big panel of subs here today, they may will them over the line and stuff like that, but they just haven't been able to get over the line, and they're starting to struggle for scores as well and taking off Michael Henry. I know he didn't play well in comparison to his game against Douglas the last day. He was exceptional. He didn't play well today, but still, would you be inclined to leave him on the opportunity that maybe one ball would fall to him at some stage and he would score? But look, overall, it has been an enthralling game, a very, very tactical game. UCC with 7 defenders. Paddy O'Loughlin, has been left loose for the whole. It was 70 minutes so far, and he's had a big influence. But there's nothing between the two teams now. But slightly, you would have to say that UCC are slightly favourites, I think.
No, I think a lot of it will come down to Conor Shane Conway, who's had a huge part of the game. Now they've taken off a couple of forwards, and but he's by far the most experienced player in the UCC forward line, with Mark Keogh. Patrick Power, who was very, very good at full forward, has now come out to the wing, and UCC have Owen McCarthy and Brian Verling inside. So I think Conway is the key man, and Keogh, if they can get a couple of scores to see them through, and here he is on the ball.
Yeah, Shane Conway, the key man for UCC on many occasions, and done more so today. And here comes UCC, and it's substitute Brian Verling, who's after giving them the dream start there to the second half of this period of extra time. Great quick thinking by the goalkeeper to get them up and running again for Blackrock. Niall Cashman opting to go short there as far as Tyg DC. This man is some blast of pace and some shot on him as well too, as he's driven that one over.
Yeah, it's his third point since being introduced as a 40-minute substitute. He has pace, he's plenty of power, plenty of strength. He's gone centre forward now, and he's marking Paddy Goodell. Alan O'Callaghan has also come on, and he's marking Mark Coleman. He was the replacement for Alan O'Callaghan. So Blackrock have gone and put their two of the strong forwards in, marking the inter-county fellas.
Okay, it's after breaking off the full back there. Seemed to be holding his face, and it's UCC's Pádraig Power, the man from Blarney, doing ever so well to kind of juggle that ball over. That is incredible pieces play. The ball kind of spilled up to him, and it was like a little juggling act how he managed to maintain control and getting it over the crossbar. Yet again, great credit to the goalkeeper though, to Gavin Conley, for so quickly getting his side up and running again. Tyg DC opting to go right across the field there, spilling away though. And that's a wonderful piece of play there by the defender, looked to be David Griffin. Blackrock though getting the shot off, and the shot has trailed wide, and how they badly needed that. As we can see players all over the field cramp now, of course, is going to be the big challenge as we come down the remaining 8 minutes of this epic tussle here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Another player making way there for Blackrock. We'll get confirmation in a few moments' time.
Kevin O'Keefe, I think, is in for Blackrock, and Alan O'Callaghan's gone from wing forward back to wing back.
It's Éanna Desmond on the ball there. Oh, great play there by the centre-back Niall Cashman. He's been one of the star men for Blackrock this afternoon, dropping it in on the 21-yard line. Who's going to come out with it? It looked to be a UCC player that touched it last, and the linesman seems to be of the same opinion that it was Paddy O'Loughlin touched it. As he changed his mind, the referee is coming back in on it, and he's opting to throw it in. Referee with David Lowney going back to pick out Paddy O'Loughlin. I'd love to see his stats this afternoon.
He's on a huge amount of ball, but at no stage Blackrock didn't mark him. They just left him do his own thing.
Credit as well to the goalkeeper Dylan Desmond. He's had some remarkable distributions in the course of the afternoon. That's a poor ball there as Blackrock come yet again, dropping it in into the danger area. Big hand going up for it, but not for the first time or the last time. Paddy O'Loughlin there to clear away the danger, and UCC having all the time in the world with Shane Conway from halfway to take the effort. And is that going to push them out yet further again? I think the cheer from below us gives you the answer.
13 points, what a return from Shane Conway again, but UCC playing the ball out from Paddy O'Loughlin out in the middle of the field, worked it up to Shane Conway, and from the middle of the field put the ball over the bar. UCC gone back up 3 now again. They've scored 3 in extra time. Blackrock haven't scored yet.
14 minutes into extra time. That means we've 6 remaining. Like DC
again.
Effort from him. That's his fourth of the afternoon. That's a touch of class yet again from Tyke DC. We were questioning should they have started him. Well, he's after putting in a masterclass since his introduction.
He's certainly quieting Paddy Cadell a bit since he's come on as well. Colm, he's taken Paddy Cadell, who was very influential all through the game for UCC, and he's come on and he's got some great scores.
Mark O'Leary on for Killian O'Dwyer as we're watching the substitute yet again. Yeah, he's after driving it wide there. Brian Verling from Clodove got the point a little earlier at the start of extra time. Here come Blackrock yet again. It's Route 1 stuff is the name of the game now for Blackrock. If they're going to try and produce something in these final few moments, it's Alan Connolly going right across the face of the goal. A hand going up for it. Chance coming up here for Blackrock. Great save by the goalkeeper, but he can only find a Blackrock man, and it's going to be somehow driven wide. Is it
big chance for Blackrock? It's Alan O'Callaghan, who's normally a centre back, or like he got a chance. The ball came across from Alan Connolly, crossed it to Robbie Cotter, who took the shot. Great save from Dylan Desmond, and Alan Callaghan had a chance to bat the ball, but he, unfortunately for Blackrock, he batted it wide.
Yeah, I think Alan had been out with a cruciate knee ligament injury, and back in here, another high ball dropping in. UCC is trying to funnel back players. It's O'Callaghan yet again gone to ground, winning possession, and it's John O'Sullivan, I think, is it?
John O'Sullivan, yeah.
But
great play by Alan O'Callaghan,
who's been on 2 balls in quick succession.
Because I think the ball that the keeper saved was probably behind him. Maybe he took very unlucky not to bat it into the net. We're back to a point game again now.
323 to 33 points. It's not the lot of numbers. This is the score line that I'm giving you from this Co-op Superstores Cork Premier Senior Hurling Championship semi-final.
The other thing is that the likes of Conor Boylan has gone off, Killian O'Dwyer has gone off. They're 2 inspirational players. UCC are probably not at their strongest, but they need to freshen it up and stuff like that. But certainly not at their strongest at the moment.
Trickling out somehow. Blackrock keeping the ball in play, but can only find Paddy Cadell going back, playing a nice little 1-2 with O'Loughlin. Cadell eventually getting it off, and Donna comes here towards Verling, who's impressed since coming on, getting on 2 balls, but that's commentator curse if ever there was one.
It's a poor wide now again, because it's going to put pressure on back out, short puck out again to Cathal Cormac, and it's back down the field again.
Credit to Connolly again, having the wits and the wherewithal to get them going so quickly. John Cashman, is it? From the sideline.
Robbie Cotter, I think.
Cotter.
All the way
over.
Magnificent score from Cotter.
That's been the difference, lads. And a ball up the field that Brian Verling had 2 chances. He said 2 wides, and the Rockies have come down. I know they consider bringing Conor Boylan back on for the last couple of minutes and just hold the ball up there. Because I think the Rockies are just they've responded brilliantly, and the next it's all to play for.
3-24 to 33 points. Blackrock starting to believe. Niall Cashman has been a rock for them so far this afternoon. Will all his hard work be rewarded? Alan Connolly trying desperately to get on it, but it's UCC, and it's the centre back Paddy O'Loughlin who's coming out with great pressure though being applied as Cathal Cormac launches that one in yet again.
Shane O'Keefe
in there. There's a man on the edge of the square. That's Cotter again. Here he comes, opting to go back to his wing forward to Shane O'Keefe, and it bounces off O'Keefe's hand. And it's
don't know, do we see a free there?
I'm not sure in the context of the game that Joe has left the game go quite a lot. I didn't see what that free was for, and that's this now is the first chance for
Rockies
to hit the front in a long time, and what a time to hit the front, and when you go with a couple of minutes to go. But certainly for me, UCC's forwards have gone out of the game. Blackrock's defence and their half back line, especially Cathal Cormac, they're getting on top, and the 2 wides could be crucial that UCC missed.
Here's Alan Connolly, and yes, Blackrock have taken the lead.
And you can hear the supporters for the first time now are really behind their team. The first time that there's real pressure being put on the UCC team.
3-25 to 33 points, and here come Blackrock yet again. Man chasing after it there is Ty Vesey out over the sideline. Looked like he'd managed to keep it in play, but the flag is up, and it's Mark Coleman who's going to take this one. It's a bit of urgency now for UCC.
Possession is the key thing here now. Possession is for the Rockies. They just need to get on the ball and show composure, and don't concede any frees. But
Mark Coleman, where's this going to go? It's a Blackrock hand underneath it. It's broken away. It's Power that has it. It's Blackrock, and it's the goal scorer Shane O'Keefe that's in there in the midst of it. And out come Blackrock yet again. Race on out for it. Shane Conway, the one man Blackrock don't want to have on the ball. Back as far as David Griffin. Great block there. Super block here. Blackrock heads her off. Shane O'Keefe getting the ball into his corner forward to John O'Sullivan. John O'Sullivan being pulled back. Still O'Sullivan. And it's a free in. It's a free in to John O'Sullivan. And if ever there was a free that's as good as a score, that's it. He's fist pumping there, and there's some words of dissent from UCC, and the referee has looked to move it dead straight in front of the post, and Alan Connolly will have the simplest of tasks here to tap this one over as we're gone into injury time and extra time.
I don't know, was
it John Cashman, an absolute brilliant block down there from David Griffin. Looked to put the ball in. John Cashman blocked it down, turned it over, and the ball went down, and Alan Connolly a chance to put Blackrock 2 ahead.
Yes, and you can hear the roar. There may only be about 100 Blackrock supporters here, but it sounds like there's 1,000 of them. Dylan Desmond with the puck out. On a hand going up there. That hand belongs to Daniel Meany. Getting it in there towards the point score a few moments ago. Connolly runs past him. David Lowney readjusting, trying to get UCC up and running again. Can they produce some bit of magic down the final stretch? Padraig Power is the man on the ball. Going across field, going lateral. In there, Markio. They're working it through the numbers. Into Shane. And Shane Conway's effort has gone over the crossbar.
Yeah, and a lot of players going down with cramp here on the field. It's up to the referee now as to how much is left.
I don't think he's going to blow too much time extra, Mark. I think he's asking to puck out the ball, but
I think he'll give him one chance, Joe, will he?
It's all over, I'd say.
It's all over, and Blackrock celebrate. Blackrock are into the Co-op Superstores Cork Premier Senior Hurling Championship Final. Unbelievable. For so long they look to be dead and buried. but they kept the fight and they've booked their place in the final. We'll have analysis on a breathtaking semi-final coming up in 45 seconds time. Welcome back to Páirc Uí Chaoimh, looking on scenes of jubilation, scenes of delight, scenes of exhilaration as Blackrock celebrate defeating UCC in this incredible Co-op Superstores Cork Premier Senior Hurling Championship semi-final. Gentlemen, anyone involved in coaching will always tell their players and tell their teams, never give up, never give up, never give up. We've seen the perfect example of that today.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Brilliant from Blackrock, I suppose, in terms of getting the result at the end, Colm. Devastating for UCC, I would have to say, because I think at no stage were they led during the game. I wouldn't say they were in control, they were just marginally better than Blackrock for most of the game. But hats off to Blackrock, that when the final push came with only 5 minutes to go, I think they were 3 points down with 6 minutes to go in the second period of extra time, and they got 5 unanswered points. That shows some determination from this Blackrock team. UCC would be really, really disappointed because they had gotten up a couple of opportunities for points. They went for their scores, maybe should have kept the ball in play, but went for the scores. They didn't come off. And Blackrock overturned UCC on a number of occasions and got the results at the far side as well. But, you know, I think in the overall context from a Cork hurling point of view, I'm delighted to see that Blackrock are in the final, but I think UCC will be gutted this evening going away from this game, that they at least haven't got a result, you know, whether it got a penalty or whether you get a replay, but they will be really, really disappointed that they haven't got a result. But fantastic that Blackrock hung in there and just shaded it by a point in the end.
Yeah, great game, great result. Like for 70 minutes, great game of hurling. 63 scores, you know, in total in 70 minutes play. Really enjoyable. It was very tactical early on, but Blackrock came and they put their noses in front at the right time. UCC had a great chance. Like they were a couple of points ahead. They had a couple of chances above there. Probably felt a bit of an experienced lads that hadn't been involved with UCC for at this level. If they tapped over a point or two, it could have been crucial. But fair play to Blackrock. They came back. They showed that club spirit that it was there. You know, they're big players. The Michael O'Hallorans and the guys that you said that would lead Blackrock to victory today. You know, it was other guys who came in that did the business today. Robbie Cotter came in, Ricky DeWilla, Tyke DC came in. We spoke about him. I think I have down that he got 5 and 2.
Another man that you mentioned there, and we have to credit him, young Alan Connolly as well. Like that effort to draw the game.
Well, I think the goal, I think he got to be he dragged him back into the game with the goal. But I think in fairness to him, to stand up for a young 19, he's only 19 years of age, he's a year out of minor, with a lot of pressure to put that ball over the bar. It was an absolutely brilliant score, and I think he had a huge part to play in it tonight. Young Tyke DC, the same, just mentioned him again, came on, took on Paddy Cadell, got some inspirational scores. But you know, I think that the game turned here in the second half for me, that Blackrock got on top. You know, they had lost Conor Boylan, UCC had lost Conor Boylan. His physical presence, the ball wasn't held up, and again, great fair play to Gavin Connolly with the puck outs. He moved it very quickly, and you know, it's just at the end, perseverance paid off. The ball raining in on top of the UCC defence, and Blackrock got their chances and took them.
Killian Dwyer was probably a loss as well to UCC. He came off, I think, with 7 or 8 minutes to go, and he got the 5 points. But the John Cashman block here, when UCC, I think, were a point up, had a huge part to play in it as well. Ball was overturned and came down and got a score here, and then Shane O'Keefe got another ball. He held it up, and an overlap came, and he played it on to the Blackrock player. But in the overall context of things, you know, it was the standard wasn't like we saw against Blackrock and Douglas, but it had a different feature here today. The tactical stuff, as George said, the 7 men trying to adapt to that, and UCC never changed their style, but certainly the strongest UCC team was not on the field with 10 minutes to go, and I think that had a big bearing. And also the Blackrock bench had a big bearing today. Plus, I suppose the Blackrock bench took out, I suppose, their captain and Michael O'Halloran, who was their main man the last day. That took a brave management move to take him off. But Robbie Cotter was exceptional as well late in the game. Got a fantastic score off his left and created a goal opportunity as well for Alan O'Callaghan.
And another man that we mentioned there, John Cashman, I thought, apart from that block down,
Yeah.
kind of added another bit of steel to them.
He added a bit of steel to it, and the big thing, I suppose, look, I think Blackrock have been trying to do the best thing. What they have, like they have a very strong panel. Their intermediates were involved right up to a couple of weeks ago as well. You know, they've been trying to keep the panel thing going. I think they've probably big decisions to go. They now are in the county final. They're 1 hour away from bringing back the Sean Og Murphy Cup. They possibly, you know, they have been trying to stay with a settled team and get the best out of their players for maybe 25 minutes, 35 minutes. But a game could have slipped away from today. I think Tyg DC, there's a big call for the Blackrock management now as to whether Tyg DC starts in the county final. You know, they got away with it today, I think, against UCC. I don't think they'll get away with it. Whoever is in the county final against them, I think a big call from the Blackrock management will be whether Tyg DC is going to start in the county final or not next Sunday.
I think there's no call. There's no decision to be made really. I thought he was outstanding, and I don't think they'll take a chance in a situation where, you know, you got to hold some players in reserve. But the impact that he came today, if Blackrock had lost that game, I think there'll be a lot of soul searching done and asking why they didn't start Tyg DC. He's been really good all year. He's been really impressive. And possibly, you know, nearly single-handedly had a huge part in that game being turned today. So I think there's no doubt for me that he'll certainly add a new dimension. They'll be hoping to get an extra bit of input from Michael O'Halloran next week. But for me, Tyg DC has to start if they have any chance to win the county final next Sunday.
Another man that really caught my eye throughout was the centre-back, Niall Cashman.
No, he was very solid. Absolutely rock solid at centre-back. Got a couple of scores as well. And he got one inspirational score where he raced 50 yards up the field. Another he took a free here 60 yards out as well. Alan Connolly was coming out to take it. He said, no, I stay inside, I'll knock it over the bar. You know, fierce confidence. But do you know a fellow who went a bit unnoticed today, I think, is John O'Sullivan. I mean, he got 4 points on play, was very, very industrious, and probably is a lesser light of the lads, but really played well today, I think, in the overall thing. And Daniel Meany as well played very well in the middle of the field.
I'll just cut in across you. Isn't it lovely to hear that noise across the
field?
It is,
and it's brilliant to see that people can go to the games again, and hopefully we'll get a chance that continues, and that there's no reduction in the people that are able to go to the game. I think to be remiss, Colm, if we didn't mention the contribution of some of the UCC players. I thought again, Shane Conway 14 points, like fantastic contribution. But other players from a Cork perspective, you know, Owen Clifford, David Lowney, David Griffin, Mark Coleman, you know, Shane Barrett, Patrick Power. You know, really, it was great to see them. You know, those guys playing at this level. So from that point of view, you know, there was some brilliant performances all around.
Yeah, again, we had to come back and we had to talk about UCC because for 98% of that game, it looked like they were heading to the county final.
Yeah, and that's the first time I suppose UCC with that team, you know, to this year that they would have lost. You know, that's the only game they've lost this year so far. So, you know, it's heartbreaking to lose a semi-final, as we all know. Like, it's not it's, you know, you get to the final, you get to a final, you partake in everything. That's with the county final and the build up to it. Losing a semi-final is heartbreaking, and I think hats off to UCC. They came down today, you know, with very little preparation, gave an exhibition, scored 34 times today, and still didn't win a game. So, you know, they'll go home gutted. They'll be heartbroken because you don't get too many chances to win a Cork County Championship medal, and they'll be very disappointed. They put themselves in a situation to win it. They led for most of the game. They had a couple of chances, then very nearly saw it out.
It's strange being here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh for a hurling game and talking about a Kerry man, but Shane Conway is just different gravy.
He was brilliant. He's been, like, John knows him an awful lot better than me. I've seen him sporadically playing for UCC. I saw him on the live stream game above, and I think this DCO. I thought he was brilliant, and he scored frees that night into the wind and with the wind that probably were a key factor to UCC winning the Fitzgibbon this year. But like, he showed everything today that you want out of any player, and like, if there was a transfer market, he'd be the one player that you'd be going after straight away. He was exceptional. His hurling was fantastic, and he took a fair few hits today in the context of the, and very fair
and bounced back up.
Yeah, and there was one free in particular that he got hit for, and you know, he struck the ball straight over the bar. I thought he was really good today now.
What happens for UCC now, Ger? Is there still question marks over Fitzgibbon and hurling leagues and everything like that at third level?
Yeah, there probably is, but I suppose from some of those lads might not play for UCC again because their term is up, or they've got their, they've qualified and they've got their degrees and they've moved on into the next phase of their journey. But and that's what's disappointing for them, that the last time that they'll play is a defeat. But there's new guys coming through. There's new freshers coming through every single year, so they'll be disappointed that they came so close. And but back to Shane Conway for a second. He from a hurling stronghold in Lixnaw down in Kerry. With the UCC lads brought the cup down there last year, which is a great testament that they took a bus down there to I suppose to celebrate the Fitzgibbon back down to his home parish. And he's been phenomenal. For a Kerry lad to come up to Cork, and he's been in the 3 years that he's been there, he's been inspirational and huge part in all their victories. He's a class hurler. He's got fantastic skill. He gets targeted in every single game. He gets hit, but he still comes up. And the big thing for me is that when the pressure comes on in games, he's still able to deliver. And when you go down the wire and you need scores, and I don't think he might have had one or two wides early on, but under pressure he scored all the frees and all the ones from play. I thought it was just a joy to see him play. He's just a fantastic player. And it's great that the Irish Examiner giving people a chance to see Shane Conway play hurling at this level, because hurling for Kerry, you don't always get that chance to play at the national level, which is an awful pity, because he's a super player, super skill, and brilliant for people to get the opportunity to see him play.
Okay, well said there, Ger. An absolute pleasure to have the two of you for company here this afternoon for what was an epic battle between UCC and Blackrock. The Blackrock players on the far side being warmly greeted by their fans here this afternoon, and well they might. They're into a county final which will be taking place here next weekend. That is where we're going to have to wrap up our live stream for now. I was going to say for the weekend, because we're only getting started. 3 more games to come on the Irish Examiner live stream service over the course of the next 28 hours or thereabout. Starting off this evening, 7:30, it's the other semi-final, and that's pitting the men of Glen Rovers against Erin's Own. Tomorrow then we're into Camogie, senior Camogie final action in Ascara against Corsey Rovers, and then we're back on football at 7:30 tomorrow evening in Páirc Uí Rinn, the Bon Secours Cork Premier Senior Football Championship quarter final between Ballincollig and the champions of Nemo Rangers. Well, the champions of Cork Senior Hurling still to be crowned. Will it be Erin's Own? Will it be Glen Rovers? Or will it be Blackrock? 3 teams now standing in the race for the title. That's where we're going to leave our coverage for this evening. A pleasure as always to have Mark and Ger alongside me. Pleasure also to have Raf and Jack on duty. Larry was back at base, and a pleasure also to have your company over the course of an enthralling 2 hours of top flight Cork Premier Hurling Championship. That's where we leave it. The other team will be on duty at 7:15 this evening. Hopefully you'll be able to join them for what promises to be an interesting and exciting semi-final. From all of us here, goodbye and thanks for watching.